Hello and welcome to another Wednesday episode of DMsGuild Feature Showcase with some of my favorite friends and some of your most familiar Twitterverse community members. Oh, hello. We're starting early with the alerts. Let me just fix the positioning of that because as you may notice, we have a brand new overlay tonight. First of all, thank you very much, Dr. Feargood. Much love for 4 months subscribed. Thank you very much for the streak, my man. Always a pleasure to have you on board. And of course, for those of you in chat tonight, welcome. Thank you for joining us on this incredible adventure. It picks up. It's getting hot, y'all. It's getting hot. But before we get too far down that path, allow me to introduce you to these wonderful players. We'll start at the top and go in clockwise like fashion. Yes, that's right. You know what that means, Nikki. We're going to start with that chickenly nerd. Hello.
Hi. Hi. I am at Chickenly Nerd. You should come check me out on Twitter and Instagram. I'm part of such an amazing community, and I would love you to come over there and follow me. And I'll introduce you to everybody because there's nobody that I talk to that isn't absolutely splendid and amazing. All part of the same massive, amazing nerd group. And they all know that I have nerdychicken.ca, an awesome nerdy shop where you can find all your nerdy stuff to help you hoist your nerd flag high.
10 out of 10 would recommend. And I have to say, Nikki, like you're crushing the intro because I know that's something that you've been working on for some time. So moving right along, let's say hello to Dads and Dragons.
Hi, I'm Ryan with Dads and Dragons, a podcast where we focus on playing D&D with your kids and how much fun that can be. So check us out on Twitter, say hi, or just go straight to dadsanddragons.com and check out the podcast there.
Very nice. Awesome. Keeping the momentum, let's say hello to Pleasant Doom.
Hi, I'm Angela, one of the hosts of Dungeons, Signings, and Dorks, where we talk about geekery and food and all kinds of things. Pass it along now.
That's right. Point your fingers in the other direction.
Oh.
There you go. Right over to Dustin. Let's say hello to Just Drawn Radio.
Of course, I am the infamous Just Drawn Radio. I do a comic book show about comics, geekery, and why heroes are important to people. Occasionally talk about mental health stuff in there. And once a month, my girlfriend takes over the show and proves I'm a total hack at this thing.
Dustin whipped up some pretty crazy scripts today to help us remotely get him into Zoom so I could do sizing for this brand new overlay. So constantly blown away by the level of skill there. My name is Brad, aka Shambazzle at Shambazzle Games, I guess, at Shambazzle Games everywhere on the internet, especially right here on Twitch. So if you haven't done so already, please do throw me a follow. It's the best way to support the channel, totally free of charge. Means the world to me, so please do throw us a follow if you're enjoying what you see tonight. So this is Dungeon Masters Guild Showcase, where we take third-party produced independent content adventures, rather, and modules, and we run through them with some of our favorite community members right here on the show. So this is a long-standing, persistent campaign, and through it, we will see featured third-party content as we begin to carve out this epic story-driven narrative. And then, of course, I do a lot of writing that speaks to the wonderful backstories and secrets crafted by our players. So before we go into that, I want to talk a little bit about characters. First, let's go around the table. We'll go the opposite direction. We'll give Nikki a break, but we'll go. Let's go counterclockwise from Dustin at Just John Radio. Tell us a little bit about Muse real quick.
Of course, Muse is a former bandit of the Blood Scarves. He gave up that life when he decided to follow the path of the Artificer, thanks to his mentor and ally Lorelei. She's gone missing. He's got her gun, and he kind of took to the road to figure out what happened, and he ran into the rest of the party and decided he can do some good.
Very good. And Pleasant Doom, talk to us about Glitter Bomb.
Glitter Bomb is an unusually brightly colored Kenku. Though her build is mostly like a crow, her colors resemble more tropical birds. She's trying to learn to speak Common, which is not a language her people usually actually speak. So she's working on it and still learning new words and trying to figure out the grammar of it. Um, and yeah, she's a sorcerer. She's got innate magic, which is also something not common to her people. So she's still figuring out what that means to her, and she's made a friendship with Cloud, and through Cloud has made new friends and has kind of declared her new friends her flock.
Good stuff. And as we go around, we'll have little cards that pop up. You see those showing up on the new overlay right now. Help remind you of who's doing what and who these characters are. And we'll continue to evolve that, of course, as both the characters evolve and the stream evolves too. So moving right along, let's say hello to, tell us about Drogon, Dads and Dragons.
Yeah, I play Drogon, Freeforged. He is a hill dwarf from down in the Underhome of Faerun in the south, and he's made his way wandering up north, following following his god Dugmarin Brightmantle, who is an explorer / inventor, god of knowledge. And as a cleric of Dugmarin, he is always looking for something new and interesting to create or craft, and new knowledge to add to the world.
Right.
And,
sorry, go ahead.
Oh, well, I don't know what I was going to say. Drogon's a nice guy. He likes people in general. He had a hard time down in the dwarven forges as a orphan child, and so he doesn't mind being nice to people now as a way to kind of give back now.
Good stuff. He's pretty far north. That's what I was going to say. He's quite far north, actually. I was just kind of refreshing myself with the geography today. He's almost gone the entire south to north tip of Faerun. This adventure takes place in the Forgotten Realms, of course.
Yep, and to be honest, the further away from the Underhome he is, the more comfortable he feels.
Ah, good to know. I'll store that in the DM bank when I am looking for reasons to torture my players with down the road. So, all right, let's move on to Chickenly Nerd. Tell us a little bit about Cloud.
Cloud is a Tabaxi monk. She's pretty secretive, shy, quiet, very tentative, but also excruciatingly curious. It's like a very difficult thing for her to deal with, trying to not be so curious. She has no idea what's going on ever because she doesn't know anything about the world. So she's like this Tabaxi who's still a child because she has everything to learn. And I don't want to give too much away about why she doesn't know anything. So probably gonna just stop there.
That's right. We all have our secrets. So a little bit of background about how the show works. Basically, once we're in the narrative, we really like to maintain a heavy story-driven, epic, collective fantasy that we want to deliver. So when we're in session, we'll be focused mainly on the story. We'll, of course, make sure we get back to all of our alerts and get back into chat at the break or at the end of the stream because we want to make sure that we give our community our propers and make sure that we can enjoy the story unbroken at the same time. So we'll always go back at the end of the show and go through all of our alerts and all the wonderful credo that our amazing community throws at us while we continue to conduct and craft this narrative. So never fear. But before we do that, we also give props for all of our offline followers. We had a few of them this week. So Stardust Lexi for jumping in last Monday. Thanks for joining the stream. One negative person. I know you're not negative, but you are very much welcome. Thank you both for joining the Checkmates. Thanks for jumping on board with a group of gaming and tabletop aficionados, gurus, and enthusiasts. Most importantly, an amazing community filled with people just like you. So thanks for jumping on board and joining the Checkmates. Welcome. And Dr. Feargood, of course, for the resub. Thank you very much for showing your support for the stream. Much appreciated. With that, let's jump into adventure. Before we get right into it, let's go around the table a little bit, and from the perspective of your characters, given the events of last session, why don't you give us like one good highlight that stuck out for your character? Let's start with Glitterbomb.
I'm starting to figure out some of this whole magic thing, and I found new uses for one of my oldest tricks, Mage Hand. it used to use it for mostly just reaching stuff that was just out of reach, and now I've found that it can help me cause distractions and even help in a fight where I don't want to be seen. So I used Mage Hand to kind of try to steal someone's sword, and when that didn't work, I basically kept pulling until my opponent was off balance and let go and pushed them off the edge of the tree bridge.
Nice creative application of understated spells, we'll say. Muse, what was memorable for Muse last session?
Muse basically had the one-man standoff against the big bad. He realized if he had one shot to save his friends, he did not pray to any deity. He asked Lorelei, the lady who taught him everything he knew about artificer work, and said, "Don't let me fail my friends." And the bullet ripped the big bad to shreds. So he's a little stunned at what he pulled out, but he's happy it worked.
That's the main thing. That clutch play. Cloud, what was memorable for Cloud in last week's session?
Oh, definitely. I'm finding a family, and that's huge. Learning what family actually means, and that I can actually count on these people to help me. Nobody's gonna hurt me, and the clincher was Drogon actually giving me a gift, and he'll probably never know how deeply that touched my heart.
Nice. And let's round it out. Speaking of which, let's go to Drogon himself. Tell us a little bit about what was memorable for Drogon last session.
Yeah, I mean, that's the whole gift was Drogon is feeling like maybe he's wandered far enough and long enough, and going through this last part and doing something good together with a group of people has been a good experience for him, and he kind of wants to explore that a little bit, and I want to see where things go now when I'm not on my own anymore. So I'm excited about that. That was just a way to try and keep the group together, I guess, and maybe that's a little bit meta on my side, but that's always something I'm looking for is ways that characters connect to each other. And so as a player, I've been thinking about what would Drogon do, and Drogon is a maker and kind of a gift giver, and so he might come up with other little crafty things for everybody as we go along at some point or another. Maybe that's his love language, his gifts. Like,
yeah, that's right.
He's traveling north. If I could get a red cloak and grow my beard out a little bit longer, and we might have the makings of mythology.
Very nice. Hint, hint. All right, we'll put that on Drogon's wish list. Yeah, no, I think that's just the right kind of meta when you're using it just from your character's knowledge to build into that story, and that's brilliant. Really quickly say hello and welcome to Lucas Savieto. Welcome and thank you so much for the follow. Welcome to the Checkmates. You're part of an amazing group of tabletop and video game enthusiasts, aficionados, and gurus, but most importantly, an incredible community made even better for your presence. Welcome and thank you for joining us to the Checkmates. With that, let's jump into game with a recap. With Devon in tow, the objective is secured, but the road ahead is still long and filled with dangers. After narrowly escaping defeat at the hands of the Goblin tribe and the devastating spell-throwing wildling Grouse, the companions thwarted the chieftain's plans, handing him brutal defeat in return. Chased by the arrows of the tribe and the rampaging cries of their pet ogre, the party stole off into the embrace of the Cormanthor, returning to the Overlook before their mortal bodies could carry them no further. In a rare moment of peace, the bonds of friendship are further forged as the four adventurers and their trusty companion Pio learn more and more to put their stock in the trust and protection of one another. As they made their way along the lonely road, with Devon showing signs of improvement in the dawn of a new day, they traversed the narrow, winding trail back to the Goblin encampment and the stronghold at Bridge Tree. After managing to subdue a small group of goblins and a stray wanderer from the Bridge Tree Lookout, the chokehold that leads to the rest of the Cormanthor and their destinations still teems with goblins on the lookout for intruders or escapees. As you huddle now close to this quiet corner near the woods where you have subdued this unfortunate goblin, you just hear off in the distance as Glitterbomb's successful mage hand trip has pulled the sword from the combatant that she was struggling with, sending him cascading over the platform far beyond the depths in the emerald green grass below, out of sight. But this happens about 60 feet away from you, around the bend of the emerald green reach of the Cormanthor and these swaying brush sidelines that are keeping you obscured from the road proper at the moment. And your new goblin quarry that you've just subdued, Pio, with her hands over his mouth as he silently goes unconscious, steps back. I think they might be looking out for us, you guys.
Be surprised if they hadn't started sooner.
She puts a hand on her scimitar and just nervously begins to look up and down the road, sticking her head out of the brush line.
I'm going to kind of poke at the downed goblin that's right next to us. Just kind of poke at him.
Because you prod at his side. Is he still alive?
He's not dead?
Pio leans low and pulls a small dagger from her belt and holds it to his throat. Looks around. Her eyes land on you, Muse.
I kind of look to the others. Blood Scar's rule is we ain't one to leave someone behind to warn the others, but this ain't my show.
We can tie him up, right? I mean, we're not fighting him. He's just laying there. I don't want to do that.
I'm just gonna start going through this goblin's pockets and taking anything that's useful away, and just, if it's not useful to me, I'm just kind of throwing it into the underbrush where it's gonna be hard to find.
All right, most of his equipment is less than serviceable. He has like a rusty scimitar that looks like it could be usable. It's functional, but otherwise nothing really of note. You find about 13 copper and 1 silver coin in his possession, perhaps something he was saving for a special occasion. Pio still looks back and forth, unsure of the call.
Let's gag him so he can't scream, but I
Yeah, all right.
Do that.
She just kind of slams the shank in the small holster at her belt.
Yeah. I mean, whatever the group wants. Sure.
Okay.
Anybody got some rope? We're gonna need rope.
Is he wearing a shirt or anything like that? Like any kind of cloth, any kind of clothing at all?
He's like strapped hide armor, but there are leather belts that are holding the hide pieces in place.
We'll grab one of the leather belts off there.
Okay. The shoulder
totally
piece
gonna help with
falls
that.
away, exposing his bare shoulder. And you get like, maybe it's like a small belt, basically. It would be
Belt
enough
around his head.
You wrap the leather around, kind of fit it in between his fangs and pull it tight and strap it.
Okay.
There,
So he's not
gonna make
talking.
any sound now.
Yeah.
We can use another strap to tie his hands behind his back. I don't know. Maybe we can convince him. Pio, we gave you a chance. What if he can do it too?
Maybe, but I think we might be a little bit beyond negotiations with this one. That's up to you guys.
Best bind him
Yeah,
and
it's
leave
true.
him.
Yeah. Maybe we should get moving.
Okay, let's wrap up put his hands behind his back and I don't know, tie him to a tree. I don't know.
This is along the main route
Find 'em.
back and forth between the camp and Bridge Tree. I'm sure someone will find him.
Yeah.
As Pio pulls him over onto his stomach. awkwardly with a flop. And she begins to take your cue. She undoes the other shoulder strap, removes the harness, the hide plate falling away. She begins to wrap
I
his
give
wrists
give
together.
her a hand too, just to get it done. I know this is my fault.
Okay, go ahead and roll
We
a
have to do this.
roll a sleight of hand for me with advantage as you both work to secure the bindings. What are the rest of you doing?
14.
Nice. Looks taut. Looks tight.
Sweet.
I'm going to be thinking and kind of very looking at this goblin very scrutinizingly. I'm going to, if we're allowed access to our new spells, I'm going to start trying to basically make myself look like this goblin
Okay.
with alter self.
Okay. And what level is it? Just the key clicks are a bit loud. I'm not sure if that's coming through.
I'm sorry, what was that?
No. What level is that's alter self you're casting?
Yeah, alter self. It's a level 2 spell.
Okay. All right. As Glitterbomb begins to weave the this arcane mystic energy around her, begins to swirl. Her cloaks begin to lift and billow slightly, and as it rises up over her in a sparkle of dust, multicolored fractals emanating around her. From the bottom up, you see hide boots lead into green-gray skin, muscled and taut, short hide shorts, and as it weaves over her body, standing before you is almost a perfect replication of the goblin who's now bound on the ground at your feet.
Well, now that's useful.
Nicely
That
done.
looks good.
Why don't
I
you
like
roll
it better the other way.
roll a d20 for me, Pleasant Doom. Or sorry, Glitterbomb.
Where's my d20? There you go. Just a straight d20?
Yeah. As you conduct the weave, this overwhelming sense of euphoria as the arcane weave fuses through your body, washes over you, and the surge flushes from your body and is gone. Pio looks up and she kind of jumps back a little bit and says,
Wow. That's new.
Yeah, not no goblin speak. You help?
Sure. Okay, let's work through a couple of things. That's right. Say yeah, boss.
Have I?
Okay, good. Sure thing.
Sure thing.
What stinks?
What stinks?
Oh,
Stinks?
it's me.
Oh, it's me.
Oh, practically a goblin. Let's keep working.
and she kind of pulls you aside and continues to work with you on some basic sayings, kind of sensing what you might be working towards here. What are the rest of you doing in this moment?
Watching this with fascination. And I might even be mouthing some of the words along.
Very good.
What's
Drogon.
up ahead of us on the trail?
As you kind of leave them to their work and step out on the trail just slightly, looking further downwards towards the great rising canopy of bridge tree that vaults over the top line, even of the Corman Thor. Roll a perception check for me, please.
Oh, okay. Blackjack.
Nice. Blackjack. Looking up towards the tree line, you can see now still some moving shapes, but there doesn't seem to be any ire or alert raised at Bridge Tree. But you can tell that even through this narrow passage and about 60 to 70 feet ahead on the road, even past that heavily obscured foliage bend, there's some activity in Bridge Tree. This is probably not going to work for the whole contingent. But it's the only thing standing between you and Dampshire. Devin shudders in the background. A bit of a chill then. Are we able to make it? He kind of.
We'll make it fine. We'll make it fine, lad. Did they keep you here at Bridge Tree for any length of time?
Not that I recall. It was a fairly quick trip. I passed out a couple of times just strictly from exhaustion. I seem to remember them pulling the cart all the way up the ramp. Narrow, quite treacherous. I don't remember how we got up the damned tree in the first place.
Muse, we're gonna have to find our way through this. Maybe, I hate to put her in this situation, but maybe send Glitter Bomb up ahead.
Devin looks back and forth between you.
Not the best option, but I have to agree with you. I can definitely keep her safe from range.
I suspect I should stay in the brush then. There's a good chance that they will recognize me.
That's a good idea.
Alright, I'll stay back with our new friend then. And he just kind of nods towards the goblin at the ground. I'll watch for your mark before I move ahead. He just sits down and crouches low, just picking at some of the stones on the ground and throwing them further into the trees.
Glitter, do you mind seeing if you can find us a way through?
I try.
Maybe something that's not across this death trap of a bridge they've got here.
Or
Yeah, you got it.
that way? Oh, that way?
Pio holds up a finger and says, "Try. Yeah, boss.
Yeah, boss.
Yeah, boss." And she points down the road and she says, "Yeah, that's the spot. Should I go
This
too?"
whole time. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
This whole time, Cloud has been actually sniffing at Glitter Bomb and like poking at her and feeling the different clothes and feeling her ears and seeing what, making sure and see if it's actually still a Glitter Bomb. Like,
It smells like glitter bomb. I won't make you roll for it. It smells like glitter bomb as you kind of reach out and touch. It feels like glitter bomb. I believe Alter Self does actually change your clothing as well, doesn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Nice.
So
Yeah, let me-
it smells like glitter bomb, but for all intents and purposes, otherwise, it sounds like a goblin.
let
In
me
even the
pop up the
broken
details.
words. I get it.
Oh.
Okay, yeah, that's
they're reading.
perfect.
Yeah, so you actually physically change.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's freaky. So yeah, I'm like poking at your ears and the ears. Okay. That's weird.
Well, Pio speaks up. It's not that weird.
Oh. No, but she's a bird.
Oh, yeah. I guess that's kind of weird.
It's like,
Like, yeah.
What do you
Anyway.
think? Should I go, or do we let Goblin number 1 take the lead?
That's I would like you to go. I wouldn't want Glitter Bomb to go by herself.
maybe need help.
Best you go with her, Pio. I keep you both safe from range.
Okay, you got it. I'll keep
Oh,
an eye on it.
what's your name? What's your name, Glitter Bomb?
Good strong goblin name. Shinto.
Glitter Spike.
Shinto. Glitter spike. Nah, it's
Shinto?
too pretty for a goblin. Yeah, Shinto. You? Shinto.
Shinto.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Shinto.
Yeah, boss.
Yeah,
Hey,
boss.
Go be a good goblin.
Okay.
Yeah, boss.
Oh, wait. Pio stops and turns on her heels back to the group. What's the plan?
If you get it, I already gave you my whistle.
Right.
If you get into trouble, you'll hear it. It's ear piercing.
Okay. Can everyone hear this?
Oh yeah.
Okay. So if it goes well, then what if we don't get into trouble? What are we supposed to do over there?
Well,
Keep 'em
head.
keep 'em distracted, and we'll do our best to sneak around.
Okay. What's the signal? How do we know when you guys are there? Or we'll try and draw them away from the platform?
I'm gonna poke Pio.
Hey, yeah.
Um, send running, like, help, run, need help. How do?
Back this way?
Yeah, all the way, way far.
Okay. Like back to the camp?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
boss.
Okay. So, me and Glitterbomb will go and try and stir him up and tell him that we need help back at the camp.
Back at the camp.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, good.
Word for hurry.
Come on, Pio. Hurry.
Hurry.
She says it in
Okay.
Goblin. You repeat it in Goblin perfectly.
Yeah, I repeated it goblin.
All right. Okay. Let's do this.
Be safe, you two.
All right. You got it,
Okay.
boss. And she
You
starts,
got it, boss.
She starts trucking off down the road, and she's like exchanging words back and forth with Glitterbomb as the pair just make their way further down the road before they are obscured around the bend and out of sight. What are the rest of you doing?
I don't like this.
Don't get too close that they spot you, though. We've got to try and stay hidden. Right now, it's our only chance.
Okay, let's wait. That's one way is like a big drop off, right? So we'll have to we only have really one option.
Well, you have pretty thick forest on either side at this point. The overlook
Okay.
that drops off the cliff is probably about another 50, 60 feet deeper south.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I kind of look to see if I can tell which way might be a better option for us to skirt around and quietly move through.
Well, all of the foliage on either side of the road funnels down to the narrow point where the suspension bridge leads to Bridge Tree. So either way, unless you traverse down over the cliffside to the foot of the
Okay.
plateau,
Ugh.
you're either looking at going through Bridge Tree or going down over the cliffside to the ground below, which is about a 75-foot drop.
Okay. No matter what, we still have to go over the bridge. So we wait to see if they can get them to come back this way.
Let's hope so.
Okay.
I'm scared for her. I was trying to be brave, but like this at all.
She's smart. She's crafty. She'll be all right.
Smarter than me.
As you
I-
contemplate, sorry, go ahead.
I give Cloud a reassuring smile and go, oh, you're smarter than you give yourself credit for, and don't worry none. If they get in any trouble, I'll be the one starting the first shot.
How are we gonna? We can't see them from here. So, I look up. Is there any really tall trees? Anything? Something
Plenty.
that I might be able to?
Yeah, there's a whole host. Like
Catch
the
glimpses of
forest
them?
is extremely thick here, and then the road gets fairly narrow. The road itself is only about 10 to 15 feet wide. It's all cobblestone covered by layers upon layers of fallen leaves, nettles, and ferns that have leaned in almost and completely embracing the narrow
Okay.
path itself. On either side, there are various stands of elms, maple trees. Lots of branches, very easy to climb. It shouldn't be too difficult to find a perch if that's what you're seeking.
I'll try that. I I'm almost panicking. I'm so I need to see what's happening. So I okay, I'm gonna try that one, and I choose like
Okay.
a big, sturdy, tall tree to see how high up I can get, and if I can catch a glimpse.
Sure. And are you all positioning yourself stealthily here? You're trying to stay hidden in the brush?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So first, I'll get everyone to roll a group stealth check for me, please.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay. And just give me, I'm not going to make you roll dex for your, or acrobatics for your climb or athletics for your climb. Cloud, you can very easily get up the tree here, especially the many limbs, given your nature as well. You very easily climb a good 10, 15, and you could make it higher if you wanted. And as you begin to position yourself, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just gonna say exactly. I just keep on climbing until I can catch a glimpse, anything.
Okay. You
Then-
get high enough to the point where the limbs are starting to thin out a little bit. You feel like you could get higher, but at this point, maybe about 20, 25 feet in the air is where the tree starts to shake, and you worry that it might give you away if you were to ruffle any of the limbs and branches. So you sit tight here, and you can see through the peaking limbs and the branches, the overgrowth of the Cormanthor, just that high vaulting, archaic foliage of bridge tree and the mighty branches that shoot off even more skyward. And now you can actually see the pair of two wayward goblins leading away from you towards Bridge Tree, Glitterbomb and Pio, on track towards the suspension bridge as they grow another 25, 20 feet, 15 feet, now within eyeshot of the suspension bridge. And with that, we'll swoop down and join them on the path. As Pio and Glitterbomb crunch along underneath, you've almost found a jovial nature bantering back and forth now, speaking in Goblin to one another, even if though a little bit broken from Glitterbomb's behalf. Pio seems to continue to congratulate you. You picked this up pretty quick. That's good. All right, let's focus up. Game time. And she nods ahead as you see the lazy suspension bridge swinging in the soft breeze. It erupts into the platform that leads into Bridge Tree, and now you see the familiar swinging zip lines and the vast network of travel between the multiple platforms that make up the Goblin Stronghold and the choke zone here between the northern Cormanthor and the rest of your journey ahead to Dampshire. And even as you walk up ahead, go ahead and roll a perception check with advantage for me, Glitterbomb.
Okay.
As your keen eyes behind this morphed version of a goblin blinks away, you focus in on the path before you, and you can easily sight, it looks like at a quick glance, maybe a half dozen, maybe more goblins somewhere throughout the trees or in various positions throughout the trees as a couple zip from one platform to the other. A few more are carrying bales of hay, another with an armful of leathers and hides moving in towards the center of the tree, which is where you know the workshop is. And you still see the first platform with a small stack of crates, barrels, and hemp sacks where they seem to be storing most of their supplies. And you see there's a glint of metal as though another night goblin, armor-clad goblin, has been replaced for the one that you so handily dispatched earlier. Okay, Pio whispers under her breath. You ready?
Yeah, boss.
All right. You begin to walk up on the approach to Bridge Tree. And as you do, another wet, mangy ponytail flips as the goblin turns towards you. That's dented, rough, patched armor glinting in the late morning light as a hand goes to his scimitar.
Hey, who's that now? We're not expecting relief.
Shinto. Need help at the camp.
Pio says, yeah, oh my god. It's crazy. The camp's been attacked. Everyone's dead. The next watch that was supposed to release you is they're just slaughtered. They're slaughtered. Their blood's everywhere, and we don't know what happened. There's fangs. And she's starting to go into hysterics. And Glitterbomb, as you're getting caught up in this, what do?
I'm going to kind of shake Pio like, calm. Need help. Go. Hurry.
I can't. All my friends are dead. And she's give me a either persuasion or performance check, your choice.
I'm gonna use persuasion.
Oh,
crap.
it's with advantage because you're doing this with Pio. So
Okay.
Actually, give me a quick second here.
23. Yay.
Immediately the armor-clad goblin says, "What? Back at the camp? They're supposed to be stationed there. Were they not looking out? You know what? It doesn't matter." I can't do that thing. He does it way better than I can. And the whistle arcs through the branches. He says, You, come with me back at the camp. They need our help. Let's go. Come on. And he begins to rush them up. You see two other slight goblins with daggers hanging at the belt run up, and they exchange a couple of quick words in Goblin. They run towards the suspension bridge, carefully making their way across. And when they land on the other side, they look to you. They say, "All right, you two with me. Let's go." And they start running down the path. And Pio looks at you and says,
Need more help. Go, hurry.
Yeah, no, you come with me. This is my lead, my command. Let's go. And he rushes off, and the three of them begin running down the path. Cloud, from your perch high up, about 50 feet up the road, you now see this commotion and these dust trails beginning to form as a small handful of goblins have approached Glitterbomb and Pio, and you hear their voices echoing now throughout the Cormanthor and Goblin, and they continue to run up the path. Pio looks at you. Glitterbomb says, "Yeah, we gotta. We'll tell the rest. We gotta let the Nightingale know."
Yeah, need to tell Nightingale. Go, hurry. We'll catch up. We catch up.
Okay, roll me another persuasion check with advantage. As the knight stops and turns around and says, "You guys go ahead." He says, "We're going to need all the help we can get." But you're right. Make sure they know. And look, but don't say anything to this to, Miss Zen, all right? Lips shut. You got it? He kind of backs away and picks up pace as he turns around and begins to run up the road, leaving you and Pio looking back towards the suspension bridge as Pio puts her hand on your shoulder, Glitterbomb, and whoa, I mean, I came from this place and that was stressful for me. Looks over her shoulder to make sure they're gone. Looks back at Bridge Tree. Well, I guess the top platform's at least a little quiet. Now what? As you think about your answer, let's go back to the woods where the rest of you are perched and surveying. From that perch, hidden in the embrace of the Cormanthor here, and Cloud, of course, up on your perch high, you see now 20 feet. These three goblins are rushing towards you. They seem on a crash course, at least straight through the narrow road in the Cormanthor. 10 feet. 5 feet. They're virtually on you. You can almost smell them now as they begin to breach through the small flank that you've created.
Is there anyone else behind them? Just those three?
Just those three that you can see right now.
I hold my breath.
As they rush through, almost in slow motion, time seems to stop as they rush before the cloud of dust behind them passes you and onward up the road. About 12 feet in, they stop to a skidding halt. The plate-clad goblin turns around and looks at them. Says, I don't remember where the entrance is. The two look at each other and they're like, pointing to the right. Yeah, he slaps his hand. I know. He turns around and They crash into the trees about 20 feet further up the road, onward into the trench and in the direction of the goblin camp. Silence falls over this area of the Cormanthor.
I start to climb down the tree. Wait, are we gonna go?
Let's get moving.
Okay. I jump down the last 15.
You land expertly and gracefully without a sound, even on these broken nettles, as Cloud, definitely in her element, springs to grace at the forest floor. And Devin even looks at you, raises an eyebrow, looks around and says, "All right, I guess the coast is clear. Lead on." And he'll just follow around the center of the pack. So as you make your way further on down the road, what is your marching order as you make your way towards Bridge Tree?
Muse will take point this time.
Yeah. Why don't you
Yeah.
take the front?
Okay.
Yes. I was like, I'm not going in front.
Devin will give you about a 10-foot lead, and he'll stay around the middle then.
Good
I
idea.
will go ahead and cast Aid as we're heading out. That will give the three of us 5 extra hit points for the next 8 hours.
Nice. 5 temporary hit
Thanks
points.
kindly.
Okay. All right. So we've got Muse, then Devin, Cloud, then Drogon in the rear.
Yeah.
Okay. And with that, you hurriedly make your footfalls down towards the narrowing road as the image of Bridge Tree begins to grow before you as you near closer and closer. Pio looks to you, Glitterbomb. All right. Okay. Do we press on or what? What do you think? Or should we wait for the others?
Wait for others. Don't think works again.
Okay. All right. She keeps nervously looking over at the platforms at some of the goblins who are zip-lining to and from various platforms. She seems to be looking over at the stairs, making sure that nothing's coming up towards you on the platform. And before long, you start to hear the footfalls of your companions making their way towards you en route to you both and Bridge Tree. And with that, we will go to our first combat map with the new overlay.
Ooh.
How's
Yeah,
it
let's
look?
take a look. All right, before long, the four of you are reunited. Pio still kind of looking up and down the platform to make sure that you're not accosted from any other area. Welcome back. What are you doing?
Sent
Okay, now what?
away.
Yeah.
Pretend prisoner.
Yeah, okay.
Pio looks anxiously back and forth. What's the call? We don't have much time here.
So let's move as fast as we can, and if we get caught, we'll do the prisoner thing. Okay?
'Kay.
Sound good?
Okay. So I'm gonna kind of point at Pio. Take lead. I take back.
Okay, sure.
So I'm gonna position myself behind everybody and just kind of look really, really stern, or at least try to, as I'm following them.
Okay.
You
We have,
put my hands behind my back.
Okay.
Pretend that they're tied there.
Cloud is okay. All right, go ahead and place your tokens here on the platform. As Pio takes point.
Oh, we're up at the top.
Mm-hmm.
Up at
Oh
the
yeah, sorry. Let me
top.
bring you up here. There you
Hey. Nice the tail.
go.
That one's me.
Okay, I'm gonna stay back near Cloud, or
Okay.
near near Glitter Bomb.
Okay.
I
And
look
now-
to the other. Oh, sorry.
Yeah. No, we've got Drogon and Muse in the center.
I look to the others. Should I be playing prisoner or bandit?
Play prisoner.
I give a nod.
Okay. Pio nods nervously as well. As you begin to make your way
Okay,
across the
let's-
platform, the subtle, soft creaks begin to resonate throughout the treetops, and you see now from limb to limb these goblins who are traveling. It's a matter of time before they draw closer to you. Sorry, Cloud, what were you going to say?
Oh, nothing. I was just gonna say, okay, let's go.
All right. Pio moves up, and about 10 feet past the crates, she kind of looks over, looks through them, lifts a tarp off them just to make sure that there's nothing hiding out there. And as she drops the tarp, you hear a coming from the right, as from the zip line appears gracefully, but yet it's not quite as gracefully as Cloud is used to. A goblin stops and stands up and takes 1 minute, looks at the 5 of you, and sees 2 individuals, a third, and 2 goblins, raises an eyebrow, puts his hand at his belt, says, you're not part of our relief. Pio looks at him and says,
Ambushed.
Yeah, we got ambushed on the way here. But we're taking these prisoners to the forward camp. What forward camp? We don't have a forward camp.
looks around, he looks.
Orders.
What? Speak up.
Orders are orders.
Okay. Whose orders?
Pio speaks up.
Miss N, fancy lady. Strict orders to carry on to the forward camp. No time to delay.
And she begins to walk forward, and this goblin puts a hand on her shoulder and says, hold on. I'm responsible for everything that goes through this camp. Not you. Let's take a look at these prisoners. And he puts his hands behind his back, and he begins to walk over and look you over.
I'm gonna kind of step up like, these my orders. My orders. I follow.
He raises he kind of snarls at you a little bit. Give me a persuasion check. Glitterbun. There. Nice. He says,
Orders, huh? Yeah, you don't seem to be too clear on these orders. Hey, Turok!
you hear, what?
Okay, you could use a hand over here.
All right. And you hear a rustling from the platform that's slightly obscured off to the south and west. And before long, another as another heavily armor-clad, hide-laden goblin lands solidly on the platform, straightens up with a battle axe in hand, and walks over. What?
This crew says that they are transporting prisoners to the forward camp.
What forward camp?
Yeah, my thoughts exactly.
He pulls out a dagger and says, you've got 1 minute to explain yourself, to Pio as he kind of probes her in the shoulder.
Look, all I know is that we came from the camp. The rest of the guys who were here moved back there to help reinforce. And we're just supposed to take these guys to the forward camp. Now, if you'd kindly just get out of our way, we'd go about our business.
And she's going to roll a persuasion check.
Come on, Pio.
The lean-looking goblin with the 2 daggers now appearing in his hands says, "I'll tell you what. Why don't I relieve you? You go back to the camp. We'll take the prisoners." And as he's looking over, he kind of lingers on Devin in the center, and you see Devin just quickly looks down at his feet and looks away. Turok. Whoa. I think one of these looks familiar. That pretty one. Is he familiar to you? What the hell? That's the Nightingale's prize. What's he doing with
My
you?
sword.
Devin
Sword,
just,
and I
Devin
start
just
going after
shrinks
him.
back. Okay, Devin shrinks back and says, I think we're made.
Jump in front of Devin.
Okay. Cloud, sword out. They are unsuspecting, so in this moment, as you prepare to defend Devin and they, weapons drawn, are preparing to move towards the group, let's roll initiative. All right, make sure you hit your tokens and
right.
then click into initiative.
Get to the right page of my. There we go.
And with that, they lurch towards you as well, but not before those of you in your party spring into action, ready to attack and defend your quarry, your hard-won objective, which took you far too much effort and time to secure, to hand over to these foolish goblins now. And let's see, we've got Cloud, we've got Muse, we have Drogon, we have Glitter, and we will have Pio. She rolls into initiative as well with a natural 1. All right. Leading us into battle as she crouches low and whips her short sword. Short sword, you said out, right? Cloud?
Yep.
All right. You're first to act. Timely and poetic.
Oh, nice. I am going to jump forward onto that barrel that's in front of me and leap over onto the bin and then leap to the green. What is he, a goblin? This guy here?
Yep. Okay.
That's where I'm going.
Okay. Roll an acrobatics check for me for kicks. And I'll get you past this difficult terrain otherwise. All right, easily, Cloud springs into action. You kick 1, 2 hunches off the solid crates, kicking the last barrel out. It rolls off the platform, but you're already airborne, flying towards your prey. Go ahead and roll your attack. Nice. Blink, blink, blink.
It was a cooler.
Picking up some Roll20 tricks, I see.
I am, right?
Nicely done.
That's
I don't even know that
you
one
guys
yet.
had to do that.
You're a pro.
Okay, I'm going to give it a go here.
Okay.
Do my rage damage.
So,
Oh my god!
after all those theatrics,
That one.
as he just lurches back, his 2 blades come up and meet your short sword with a cling as he pushes it aside. Go ahead and make your
Apparently, I didn't land very well.
All right. Unarmed attack.
Yes. Wow, yeah, I forgot to do that. Awesome.
That's your only reminder. Good guy, DM.
I'll remind you now.
18.
All right, but taking advantage as he throws your blade aside, you come back with an open fist. Go ahead and roll your damage. Nice.
4 points of slashing damage.
As you rake bloody lines across his face, he turns back to you. Muse, you're next. Glitterbomb, you're up on deck.
All right. I'm going to put the last word away and pull out the Eldritch Shotgun.
All right.
Standard action to fire it up.
Okay.
I'm going to, of course, go with the ballista damage again.
Okay.
And bonus action, I'm going to take a shot at the plate mill goblin.
All right. As it
I am not going to take a shot.
as it racks through the air, but it just bursts into a flash of powder, rocking through the branches of the trees, scattering birds and wildlife in the area. As we go to... Okay. Glitter Bomb. Drogon, you're next.
Okay, what I'm going to do. Those two are still right next to each other.
Yep.
So I'm basically going to move myself over to the side a little bit, kind of peek over the crates and stuff, and I'm going to cast Acid Splash at both of them.
Okay. Yeah, because they're adjacent, right?
Yep.
Okay. As you find some situation behind the crates, using them for a little bit of cover, you weave an arcane rune in the sky. It forms a globulous green mass and send it forward. It splashes over the pair, and they will save. It splashes over them, and a save negates the effect, I take it?
Yeah, nothing on it.
The lean goblin pulls the large hide-clad one forward, and he pulls him forward, using him as a shield as the acid splashes over him. Sizzles, burning, causing his skin to bubble, and the hide begin to sear and singe as he takes the full weight of your spell. Drogon. Pio is next.
I will rush up and just with my shield, try and just push, as just strength versus strength, and see if I can push him off the edge.
Okay. And that's the lean one that you're going after, right?
Oops, that's a saving throw. Sorry.
Sorry.
That's not much better.
Okay. As you rush towards him, you reach out to grab Hand's intent, and he just nimbly, like dog Dutch's way, pushes away from the hide-clad goblin that he just pulled in to take the brunt of the acid splash. Pushes away as you grasp at the air, and he miss me. And then we go to anything else?
No.
Okay. Pio rushes up behind you at the flank. No more loyalty for these goblins in her eyes as she rages with a scimitar held high in hand. With two hands, she crashes down towards the lean-looking goblin. And he also gets up like an underhanded dagger and turns the blade aside as she comes back with another. Oh, no, that's it for her. As it takes a chunk of splinter out of the platform below. She bares her fangs and snarls back at him. Cloud, top of initiative.
Okay, I'm actually going to attack the other fella. I think seems to have been able to stay out of for now.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to go after this guy over here.
Okay.
This guy, pretty good. Okay. Short sword.
Whirl around with your short sword, continuing the momentum, and cut deep into the hide or armor until you feel it press against the flesh beneath. Go ahead and roll your damage. As you pull it hard, you draw with it a river of blood that erupts from the hide as he drops his left hand and looks at you wide-eyed in fear.
Come up with a
The heel of
shot
your
to
palm
the nose.
rises up, following the short sword, and crashes into his nose. Go ahead and roll your damage.
imagining.
As you come up, immediately following, withdrawing your short sword with the heel of your palm, crunch, an audible crack resonates around the area as the goblin is lifted off of his small green feet, flies, fully clears the platform, and descends out of sight. Anything else?
Yeah, she totally goes, yes.
Nice. That would have been
Go
his
Cloud!
turn next, but we'll go to Muse since he no longer exists.
I'm gonna take a shot with the last word and see what happens.
Okay. You pull back on the flintlock and let loose fires flying across the platform, striking deep into the chest of the only remaining goblin. Go ahead and roll your damage. The H is that. It's 2d8 plus your dex. God damn.
Yep.
Okay, as it obliterates the robes before him, spraying black blood across the vista as he falls backwards. He doesn't even make a sound as his short life ends. And he ceases to exist. But in the commotion, you can hear the scrambling and the cries of goblins resonating from all around Bridge Tree now as the chatter of goblins coming to arms erupts from various locations in Bridge Tree. You have but a
move.
single round before they are on you.
Ain't subtle.
Pio looks around, begins to sniff at the air. There's got to be half dozen or more, at least.
Hey. Ugh.
Let's not get caught here. I say we run.
Time to move.
Which way? Where are you going?
I'm going to point at a zip line that looks like it points downward and kind of look over to Pio that way.
Okay. As she looks, she's like, where they came from? Yeah. Go ahead and roll a perception check for me with advantage.
Okay. Perception with advantage.
Pio looks back at you. She says, yeah, I don't see anything over there. Looks clear. All right. You, fancy boy, are you good for it? And Devin says, I'll do what I can. I suppose. He kind of walks over to the zip line, looks trepidatiously over his shoulder at you, pulls a small scabbard with a dagger around from his belt, loops it over the zip line, and kicks off the platform.
Okay, let's go.
As you see him
Faster.
go, zzz, he stops about halfway and begins to start to swing, and he's slowly making progress across the zip line.
I'm gonna leap after him and shove him with my feet.
Okay, you kick off the platform. Roll an acrobatics check for me, please.
Ugh. 9.
As you begin to hand over hand, but the rope becomes frayed and hot in your hands as the friction halts you about 5 feet down, and you start to hand over hand, slipping a little bit, but you manage to catch yourself. Now about 5 feet behind Devin. Who else?
I'm gonna cast Mage Hand to try to push them along.
Okay, go ahead.
It won't be much, but I'm gonna use it.
Go on then. Who else is left?
Go for it and make an Arcana check for me.
Kinda. Can I throw Tides of Chaos in that?
You can. Yep.
Because I don't think I had advantage on that one.
No. But then you just have to reroll. Yeah.
Yeah,
for it.
so Tides of Chaos. Come on!
Okay. Your
Even
7
worse!
stands. The 7 stands as you start to press
Cloud forward, but Cloud, I'll give you another dexterity roll, or sorry, another acrobatics check.
Okay. Another 9.
Okay, as it just kind of pushes you in the back, and you almost fall off the rope, but you scramble to catch your grip again. Who's next?
I look to Drogon. You got any thoughts, your friend?
Take friend rope.
We're making it all up as we go along.
I nod to Glitter Bomb and I take out friend rope.
Okay. As the arcane infused hempen rope begins to coil to life, what do you do? Time's ticking, and the two in the middle of the rope are beginning to slump as the hempen rope strains under the weight.
I command friend rope to loop itself around the zip line and then go over to the others and basically harness them to the line and just slide them forward.
Okay. The rope coils like a snake, whipping, darting towards the other end, where it coils around a post emanating from the other platform and pulls tight. Now suddenly around your hands, Cloud, you become aware of this slightly knotted frayed rope, but you're all too familiar with it now, as it almost seems to reach for your hand as much as you do it. And Drogon says, "Oh, what a mighty thing," and begins to slowly pull himself across. So now everyone going across that rope will enjoy advantage on your rolls.
Y'all are welcome.
But now you hear a chorus of voices, goblin chattering and screaming, coming towards you from the ramp below. And with that,
I call out, y'all best get going.
Are they all the way across now?
Okay,
no,
do
they're
you want me to
just
make
making
another
they're about
roll?
2/3 of the way across.
Gosh.
Drogon, one
Oh.
action before we go back into initiative.
Are the other goblins coming up onto this platform now?
They're on their way. You can hear them. They'll be on you moments.
I will. Any other zip lines coming onto this platform?
There's
I
another.
will cast.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I see. Like from the there are two one that's leading away from you from the platform you're going to, and one leading from the platform to the one you're on, and there's another one behind you that seems to come from far off into the tree.
The one that's coming onto this platform, I will just blast with Sacred Flame.
Okay, the
That
one
one up there
behind
in the
you.
corner.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, go ahead. You turn around and you pull with Dugmarin's essence and guidance. You go ahead and roll your. Is it an attack or is it a save?
It's a save.
Okay. So the rope is not going to save, but as you have, I'm not going to give a rope a dexterity save, but as you course down this white hot holy light, it blasts into the post. The post seems to take it and draw the energy down almost like a lightning rod, but you can see the edges of the rope begin to cinder and flare as it slowly catches a very, very slow burning smoke.
Blasted rotten goblin wood.
And with that, the shouts and cries from the goblins elsewhere in the tree begin to come more and more apparent. We're back into initiative as combat ensues. And we will start with Cloud. You're now 2/3 of the way across the rope. So close you can taste it to the other platform. And you can see that for the moment, it is in fact empty.
Did you want another acrobatics test?
Yeah, you can make an acrobatics check with advantage to close the distance. Okay.
Nice.
And as you kind of
Advantage.
gently push your hind feet against Devin and push him the last few feet, he lands clumsily, just scrambling onto the platform as he pulls himself atop, and you use the momentum to kick off from the rope in an arc from the air and land with your feline grace effortlessly, looking back over your shoulder. Devin says, No.
You okay?
Yes, thank you. I suppose I did need a bit of a hustle. Looks like our friends are about to meet some company, though. And he points through the brushes, and you see several goblins making their way up the ramp to the platform where your friends await. What do you do? time is winding down. And the
I'm-
pressure is on.
Do they look like they're making their way towards here at all, or are they just
They're
They're
running
just-
up this ramp right here. They're the ramp that coils around the tree upwards to the platform where your friends are currently on the other side of the zip line.
but do my friends look like they're
And so you are here now.
they don't seem to be making any moves to get onto the rope themselves?
They're kind of, it's difficult to tell. All right. We're about to move on.
I'm gonna have to wait and see. I go.
Sure.
What
You can hold
happens?
your action if you want. You can hold it in case something happens. I just need a specific action and a specific trigger. But your time's about to wind down.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, if nobody's making their way over here and they're getting attacked, I'm gonna and try to get myself back across the rope a lot faster than I came this way.
Okay, sounds good.
Look
Is
something
there-
up to find.
Is there not an exit off of that platform?
You're not there.
Oh,
Not from what you can see.
Oh, gosh.
All right. And with that, Drogon, as you just call down this white hot flame and you see the rope slowly begin to burn and singe, you see it go taut and you see it ripple as though something is making its way across, and whizzing sounds come down the rope itself. You hold your breath in anticipation as it pulls. The rope begins to bend as the weight of whatever is sliding down grows closer and closer to the platform, and you can now just make out the snarling face of a hide-clad berserker. And just as he reaches about 10 feet from the rope, the singe finishes as the rope comes loose and falls slack, as its quarry falls out of
Yay.
sight before it makes it to the platform. However, now just breaching into your line of sight up the platform comes another angry-looking hide-clad goblin intent on Pio, and he yells to her, "Attack them!" As he reaches behind his back, looses a large battle axe and swings forward. But he can't quite make it this turn. There is some significant clatter coming from elsewhere beyond your sight, and that is all you can see right now as we go to Muse. But there is significant commotion and movement in the treetops now.
Ashton Hells, looks like we ain't getting out of here. We ain't getting out of here quietly. So let's make it loud. I pull out the last word and I shoot the goblin.
Okay. Phew. As very quickly, you almost use the back of Pio's shoulder as a reference point, hover your sights down, pull back on the flintlock, and slams into the goblin as he's rushing up the platform. Go ahead and roll your damage. It's gonna be
Please don't
gross.
whiff. Please don't whiff. Please don't whiff. No whiff.
As his head almost completely splits in twain and he stumbles, the body, what's left of it with the momentum of rushing up the platform, falls between the cracks of the plank offwards down to the ground below and completely out of sight, never to be seen from or heard of again. That will take us to Glitterbomb. Drogon, you're next.
Okay. What I'm wanting to do. Double check the distance here. Can I see anything over this way?
You can only see what's available to you where you are right now. Everything else is kind of obscured by shadow and limb, but you know that there are at least a handful of goblins in that direction.
Okay, so then in that case, I am going to I gotta go around that pile of crates.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna go here.
Okay.
I'm guessing I can't see anything that's over this way.
Yeah, that'll give you a bit of a better purview, and I'll just go ahead and open this up to you now. Oops. Do. There you go. As you now see a small contingent of goblins that are making their way up the ramp towards you.
Okay. So what I'm going to do from there? 10-foot radius sphere. I'm looking at shatter.
Okay.
So 10-foot radius sphere. If I have it centered,
I think if it's centered to everything.
if I have it centered here, would I be able to hit this one and this one and this one?
Let me see. What is the radius again? Sorry.
It's a 10-foot radius sphere.
10-foot radius sphere is going to give you 10 foot. 10 foot. There you go. Oops. So you want to center it. Who are you trying to hit?
Ooh.
Yeah, I want to try to center it right there.
Okay.
But if centering it there gets all 4 of them,
Yeah, you can get these 4 here. Yeah,
I want
with
to
your shatter.
get all 4 of them. I'm hoping to damage the ramp probably because I'm guessing we're avoiding that ramp mostly.
I think actually we're going down that ramp.
Well then, I won't go after the ramp, but
There
no
goes our
guarantee.
escape. All right, sounds good.
All
Go
right,
ahead.
I am going to cast Shatter.
All right, as the beak clatters and glitter bomb begins to weave these swirling mists of multicolored lights, fractals of glass crystal begin to appear in the center of the ramp as the goblins are charging up at you. There they are! Get them! Ah! They begin to shatter and break until they flash out in all directions. And that is a 13 DC. All right, let's see. Con save.
And it does. They do take half damage on a successful save.
Gotcha. And what else have we got in there? Okay, all but one of them have failed. So they take 11 damage. The failures take 11.
Yep, fails take 11. Success takes half damage, so 5.
Oof.
Good job.
Yay!
The 2 archers who are running up as they begin to knock bows, and these fractals of shattered glass begin to split out in a white mist. You hear multiple screams layering on top of one another as chunks of blood begin to appear as the slash marks in their face begin to rack through the small grouping. The 2 archers fall, their bows clattering off the ramp, falling, tumbling offwards into the nothing, and the rest of them remain. Several of them look like they're in very rough shape, but one armor-clad goblin says, "Back to arms! Take them down!" And he points directly at you, Glitterbomb. Okay, anything else?
Nope. Do you need me to roll the d20 for my magic?
Yeah, go ahead and roll your d20. As the resonant energy begins to wash over your system, you breathe deep and will it away as the euphoria passes. And that will take us to Drogon. P.O. is next. Are you muted?
Yep, sorry about that.
Yeah, no worries.
Had some background noise. I muted it for a second. I will step forward and go ahead and use Sacred Flame again on the one closest to me now.
Okay. Close the distance as you reach high for Dugmarin's blessing once again and pull down a white-hot streak of holy light. It crashes into whom?
This one. Oh, why can't I draw?
Oh, thanks.
That
You
one
can
there.
you can ping him too, right?
I forgot the ping button.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. Makes a dexterity saving throw. He saves.
Okay.
Negates.
Yeah, there's
As he
nothing on the
crouches
save.
low and holds his blade up, the white hot light splits around your goblin target as it dissipates. He looks up. He says, "Spell slingers." Pio turns to them and says, "I guess it's game on now." And she rushes down the ramp after you, Drogon. "Ah, for the blood scarves!" With her scimitar held high. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, and 30. And she lunges towards this berserker on the bridge. That will take us to Cloud. I'll give you your reaction to make a move across the ropes, the one that you were holding before this turn. So seeing your friends now locked in battle and nothing happening on the platform that you originally took, you can launch. You use that action, that held action, to launch off the platform towards the ropes. Go ahead and make an acrobatics check with advantage since the animated rope is still coiled around the zip line, ready to assist.
Okay.
All right.
Go, friend, go.
Acrobatics check for me with advantage. As you leap high, arcing into the air, you just wrap your claws around the center of the rope, use the momentum to swing on it and kick off, landing in a tumble on the platform on the other side, and you've completed the traverse in a single move. And now we're back to your turn at the top of this round of initiative. Go.
Oh yeah, and as I'm going across, I say, "Stay here. We'll come back for you."
Stay there. Fall into a tumble and pick up. You just catch a glimpse of Devin nodding and crouching low, like almost prostrate on the platform. What do you do?
Okay. Okay. How much movement do I have? I have a lot of movement. Oh, much I can move. I can move with my feline agility. I can move 80. Wow.
Okay, do it.
Sorry. Stop it.
She does a lap around the tree and punches one of them in the back of the head. Like Flash style.
Can I get there? Oh my gosh, look at that.
I don't think there's anything you can't get to.
Nope.
Where are you heading? Oh my god.
Right on top of him by
Yeah,
mistake.
your tricks are hilarious.
Did you guys see how that went?
Yeah. As Cloud, in a blur of motion, makes her way down the ramp flawlessly, a lock of Pio's hair just swishes with the wind as you make your way towards this armor-clad goblin, unsuspecting he's trying to trace your movements before you're on him. What do you do?
Oh wait, that was an acrobatics. How did I do that? I thought I clicked short sword.
Okay.
Sorry.
With the blade ringing
let me-
high, and at the end of your assault, moving faster than the speed of light, just a raucous clang rings out throughout the branches and the limbs of Bridge Tree as your sword meets an abrupt halt against the scimitar of the knight. He snarls back at you, but you're going with unarmed, right? There you go.
Yep.
But you catch
Ooh,
him off
22.
guard with the unarmed strike. Go ahead and roll your damage. As your fist comes around, curling, and lands solidly in the side where there is no plate, and the rib cage is exposed. He takes the brunt of your attack, grunting. His wide yellowed eyes zero in on you. And he will retaliate. Finally, I get to attack. As he brings the scimitar down towards you for 16 to hit. Cloud.
Ooh, I parry with my sword.
Oh, cling, cling. This song
Parry
of
gets
steel
me
on
busted in
steel
my AC.
now racking through the upper limbs of Bridge Tree as you thwart his second attempt to come back at you. The berserker, this hide-bound goblin, leaps across the ramp towards Pio, recognizing that his kin has turned foe, and with his own battle axe swings hard at your goblin companion. As she deftly sidesteps, and the great axe comes down, cleaving a V-shaped wedge, almost knocking a huge chunk out of the plate that creates the ramp, sending it far to the depths below. Whew! Pio looks at him, not even close, and lunges back herself. Muse, over to you.
I will move forward.
Mhm.
I will square off the Goblin Berserker attacking Pio, and I'm going to take a shot with the last word.
Okay.
And no way I'm going to get a second crit. Still good, though.
So close.
But it is successful as the flintlock once again wheels back with a crack, sending its projectile towards Pio's assaulter. Go ahead and roll your damage. It catches him hard in the side, and the momentum carries his weight back over the ramp. And he falls backwards off the ramp towards the depths below.
Bonus action, Eldritch Shotgun.
Okay. Pio looks back and gives you a thumbs up over her shoulder.
I give her a quick nod.
Okay.
And I'm going to get really cocky and probably stupid. So I'm going to try Eldritch Shotgun with Sharpshooter. So it's a -5 to hit, but if I do, it's an extra 10 damage.
Okay, and what's the range on your shotgun?
120 feet.
Okay, yeah, that'll reach.
Wow.
So it's -5 to hit.
Yep.
Okay. Let's resolve that first.
So I'm pretty sure I'm going to whiff this one, but I want to see if I can do it. Whiff!
As it again, the reverberation, the concussive blow wrecks throughout the tree, but the goblins just duck slightly, and they're looking around wildly now, uncertain of where this noise is coming from. And with that, from across Bridge Tree, Glitterbomb, as you're weaving your arcane missiles, you're looking for your next opportunity. You barely hear a come at you from across the eastern side of the tree, and with that, it narrowly zips over your head, and you see a crooked black arrow digging into the side of one of the barrels just beyond the reach of your head. It is. And down the ramp rages another berserker out of nowhere as the hide-clad goblin races towards Cloud, great axe held high, and he swings it down on the TABAXI combatant. With a 14 to hit. This Cloud is now just sidestepping these blows, expertly flanked on two sides by ravaging goblins. Another plate-clad goblin enters the fray, makes his way towards Cloud, snarling, seeing that his companions are having some difficulty with the monk. And with that, another scimitar flashes out of the corner of your eye, Cloud. This time, it's a natural one. As again, your sword, you sidestep the battle axe, your sword comes up at the same time, just to bang the scimitar aside. It's three of them now struggling to keep balance, and they're starting to circle around you, almost ignoring the rest of the party. That will take us to Glitterbomb. Drogon, you're next.
Well, I don't like that there are people attacking my friends, so this one here, I am going to, remember I was going to try some things with Mage Hand. I'm going to actually conjure a hand a little more skeletal in nature with, a floof of sparkles coming off of me, even though I'm still looking like a goblin, and I'm going to cast Chill Touch.
Okay. As the spectral hand begins to formulate, and it does indeed grab as the cold spectral fingers begin to wrap around the leg of your prey. And that is a cantrip, right?
That is a cantrip, yes.
Okay, perfect.
Bad touch, bad touch.
And as you just see the spectral fingers, first of all, emanating in this puff of beautiful multicolored glitter, but then ending in this gnarly, ghastly claw that wraps around the ankle of this plate-clad goblin. And as he's focused on swinging at Cloud, who's dodging expertly, you see him begin to seize up, and his breath begin to form as the black veins around his leg begin to curl up around his thigh. What devil's magic? And the rest of his sentence is lost as the life escapes his lips and he breathes his last. Drogon, over to you. PO's up next.
Which other one is in plate? This one?
Yes.
All right. I will continue to move a little bit closer and bring to bear all of Doug Marin's forge on this goblin and cast heat metal on his armor.
All right, whispering a word to your god above, you draw forward and focus on the ramshackle mismatched plates and begin to channel the fury of the forge. It begins to glow and emblazoned orange, and he will roll.
He doesn't actually roll the save because he's in the armor. So he's going to take the 12 damage, and then unless he takes the armor off, he will continue to take 12 damage. If he was carrying a sword, he could try and make a constitution save to not drop it or something.
I see. Give me a sec here. Okay.
Oh, wow. That's rough.
Nice.
That is some rough stuff.
There's a burning sensation he's not getting rid of.
All right, so just keep in mind that is concentration. And as it begins to glow orange and heat up, you hear the cloud and you see the cinders of smoke begin to rise. And I believe that's a 2d8. It's 2d8 damage, though, when you cast it, right?
2d8 when I cast it, and then as a bonus action, I can do the damage again on my next turn.
Nice.
Right, and there's no save at all for that?
Well, he can drop whatever he's holding that's burning. He can take his armor off if he wants to spend an action doing that.
Right, but he's going to, like you said, he's going to eat the 12 first, right?
Yeah. Well, on my turn he will. On his turn he
on...
gets a chance to take it off. But he takes the 12 no matter what.
Yeah, no matter what. So where does this... Hold on. If the creature must succeed on a Constitution saving throw or drop the object if it can. Okay, so the Constitution save is to avoid disadvantage?
To avoid dropping the object, and probably disadvantage, yeah.
Or drop. Oh, that's to drop the. It's just for object is the saving throw. Okay, I see. So the Constitution, just for clarification for myself and for anyone watching, heat metal. The Constitution saving throw is only if it's heating an object to avoid dropping the object. Otherwise, he's pretty screwed in the metal armor. And with that, as it begins to sear, you see the white hot metal begin to churn and cloud as you almost take a minute to step back as he just. The screams begin to emanate from around the tree as he is in so much pain that his heart stops. And he falls in an awkward slump on the ramp as the metal continues to glow and burn a brilliant orange red into white hot as the stench of burning goblin flesh begins to fill the air. Yeah. And gross myself out there. All right. Pio leaps across the ramp, fueled by the turn of the tide in this battle, and with her scimitar leaps towards the hide-clad goblin on the other side. And with that, her own scimitar comes flashing towards her former brethren. As he gets the flat of the battle axe up with the bling and turns the blade aside, he uses the butt to push Pio in the chest. She staggers a little bit on the edge of the bridge, looks back, but regains her composure, and we will go to Cloud. Oops.
Was a crazy round.
Hey!
Might be.
Drogon just flew right.
He's
off
just
the
like,
ramp.
rip. Sorry, I was trying to do a thing. It didn't work. All
It's
right.
crazy.
As you retaliate with the short sword, now taking advantage of the horror that this last remaining goblin is experiencing at the peril of his fallen comrades. Go ahead and roll your damage. That's a hit.
Av.
All right, as you cut a
Fab.
nice swath
Fuckers.
into the assailant, taking advantage of its distracted state as he's preoccupied with Pio. Anything else? The claws come out.
Well hit.
And
Unarmed claws.
you just managed to sink deep into the hide as you rip a shred of leather and throw it off at the ground as you now have his attention. All right, Muse, you're up.
All right. Going to move a little bit closer to the goblin.
Okay.
And dang it, I want to pull off a sharpshooter.
Okay. He wants that sharpshooter damage.
All right. This time I'm going to fire the last word. -5 for the hit.
Okay, you draw a bead on the assailant through the fray, but the projectile goes wide, ricocheting off through the branches and elsewhere into the Faerun beyond.
Okay, bonus action Eldritch Shotgun. I've learned my lesson. Not going to try sharpshooter.
You take another step forward and with one fluid motion, bring the
Ooh.
blunderbuss across. Using the first shot to mark, you pull the trigger. It echoes through the trees. Go ahead and roll your damage. And slams into the chest of the lone combatant. Whoops. A black smoke char covering the tanned hide that decorates his chest. Even his face has now become blackened with soot as he takes a moment to understand what exactly just hit him. And with that, from across the tree, another projectile comes flying through the branches at Glitter. That's a 25 to hit, Glitter. As this time he won't miss again as the projectile finds you for 8 piercing damage.
Ow!
As it sinks into your shoulder, coursing through the soft flesh on your shoulder blade and continuing onward to slam into the soft wood of the platform.
Ow!
The lone berserker, now holding his own on the ramp, is slightly less berserk and definitely more mortally terrified as he looks to and through you all, and he turns towards Pio and says, "Traitor!" as he swings a vicious arc from right to left towards your goblin companion.
No!
And when the internet's ready to give us our result,
I'm sure it's irrelevant, but the blunderbuss also pushes him back 5 feet.
Okay. It's good to know. Definitely call that out. In this case, it doesn't matter, but you are very high up, so it could have done something. As the great axe whirls around, but Pio just steps back and she says, "You don't know the truth. You are a lemming, a pawn." And she launches forward towards her former brethren. And that will
Pio!
that takes us to Glitter Bomb.
Okay, so which direction did the arrow seem to come from?
East.
Came from the east?
Yep.
Alright, I am going to go over here to see if I can get a better look at what's over to the east.
The brambles in the foliage and the thick trunk of the center column of Bridge Tree is impossibly dense, and it makes it indiscernible, but you can definitely see through some of the foliage. As you take a quick casual look down, you see without a doubt the lifeless body of the berserker and the dangling rope that had fallen that Drogon had unhinged with his holy light from the platform just whipping in the wind. And on the other side, you see the beginnings of a platform, and you seem to be able to make up some kind of motion, but you can't quite determine what or where exactly that motion is coming from.
Whatever it's coming from, I want to throw another chill touch at it.
Okay, you draw a distance as best you can on some of the movements. A flash there, something moving the branches there, and you whip around, pulling the arcane energy in a flash, a trail of sparkling multicolored dust, and just concentrate. And you can feel the deathly essence forming ahead of you, and then you feel the satisfaction of contact. What? Ah! Go ahead and roll your damage. As the spectral hand finds its target. Ah! A scream ricochets from the platform beyond, but it continues for some time.
All right. Then I think that was 10 feet of movement that I used at the beginning of my turn.
Mhm.
After that, I'm going to use a little bit of more of my movement and go over here.
Sure, no problem. You find your way
Alright,
back to the
that's it.
platform. And the action
Yep.
happening on the ramp as we go to Drogon. Pio's up next. What do you do? Oh, I think you're muted again.
Devin is still over there on the other platform.
Yes, he is.
By
He just seems to
himself?
be like, he's prone, but he's kind of looking up, looking through the trees.
Oh, okay, well let's see if we can finish this guy off, and I'll attack him with my hammer.
Okay, as you rush forward, summoning all of Dugmarin's rage, bringing the mighty hammer towards your purported victim. As he dodges back and the hammer, whoosh, even Pio's like, whoa, hey. As they both dodge the errant swing that courses wide through the air. And with that, Pio sees for a blink of a moment that the berserking goblin is thrown off balance and distracted by your swing, and she lunges forward with her scimitar. As the scimitar, one hand reaches towards the shoulder, the other fully behind the scimitar. She presses forward as hard as she can. The scimitar sinks deep into the goblin's flesh. As he looks at her, wide-eyed, puts a hand up to stop her moving forward as she slides the blade forward and brings him closer. She looks at him and says, "Now, brother, now you're free." She pulls it free from his body and pushes the corpse from the ramp to the distance below.
That's justice. I love it.
She swings the scimitar down, spilling the fan of blood off the blade, cleaning it in one fell swoop, and that will take us to Cloud.
We don't know about the arrows that are going. So
Well,
I am.
Yeah. You definitely heard the shrieking coming from the platform to the east.
Okay. Oh, to the east. Can I see a way to get over there? Does a cross going up here, or sorry, like up this way? Would that get us up that way?
This ramp leads down here to the elevator, which is currently down at the ground
Yeah.
level. It leaps over to a
Okay.
platform here, which opens up into this smoothed out bowl of part of the trunk that forms a platform. And then beyond that, you can see the edges of another platform over here. It seems to be where the screaming is coming from.
It doesn't even look like there's a way to get across there then, without that.
As you're looking around, desperately trying to find a route over there, but the time is winding down. Muse, you're up next.
Going to, jeez. Yeah.
And the ramp that you're on also leads over here. But while time is slowed down, it is moving
Oh,
quickly.
okay. Sorry, I was actually. You know what? I'm gonna continue doing what I was gonna do
Okay.
I was just coming up here to check on,
Okay.
with Bomb to see if she's okay. On my way by,
Sure.
I actually pat Pio on the head and say, "Nice."
She says, yeah, I felt really good. Cloud Glitter Bomb as Cloud enters your vision, moving her way up towards the ramp to connect with you. Anything else, Cloud? Okay. All right, Muse, over to you.
I'm assuming Muse probably saw the arrows, right?
Yes, yeah. You're all aware that something is happening over here, at least from the shrieking, the deathly shrill cries of it being attacked by something from beyond the grave.
All right. I'm going to try my luck with the last round, or last
Okay.
word.
Okay. You pull back and you try to follow the arcane trails from Glitter Bomb, try to get an idea of where the target is, line it up, and fire.
Nice.
As the projectile crashes through the trees, almost in slow motion, you follow the projectile as it shreds leaves and brittle branches as it flies in a straight line towards its target. Go ahead and roll your damage. As the shrill cries continue to emanate by the grip of this thing that has whatever the target is, and then suddenly is silenced. So too does the battlefield fall silent as the screams and the clatter of goblins making their way around Bridge Tree ends. In that moment, you all take a deep breath and listen as the commotion beyond the party and Devon's heavy breathing from the platform to the west seem to be all the sound that exists in Bridge Tree for the moment.
Devin, quickly, back over here.
Right. As stunned in a moment of both awe and panic, Devin slowly pushes himself up and moves over to the rope and tests it. Says, "All right, good old friend rope," and he begins to slowly hand over hand his way across the rope towards the rest of the party. And he stops and begins to slip. As he does, the rope begins to coil around his wrist. Hold it, offer him some stability, and bring his hand back and on track with the zip line as he slowly, almost painfully, is like trying his best to make his way over. Clearly not quite as athletic as the rest of you, his frame being more built for performing arts and the entertainment of his various clients. But before long, he does ultimately make his way across the zip line to safety and the platform on the other side.
I guess
Never a dull
going
moment.
now, right?
He looks to Cloud and Glitterbomb. Brushes off his tunics.
I'm going to look over to Pio. Any more? All gone?
Pia says, I don't hear anything. And she wipes off the edge of her blade on the corpse, the hide of her recently felled victim, and slides it in the scimitar. There. That's the way down. She points down the ramp.
I am going to drop the altar self so I look like myself again.
In a swirl of sparkling mist, Glitterbomb resumes her form.
Beak back. Much better.
Best thing let's get moving.
Yes.
All right. Devin says, yeah, sounds about right. That was bloody violent, wasn't it? But I guess that's the price we pay. And he seems to be struggling to find the words that are typically poetic for him, but otherwise his voice trails off as he falls back into line. And as you make your way back around the coiling descending ramp that drops from Bridge Tree downwards in a spiral towards the elevator, you see the rickety platform on the pulley system laying down to the ground below. All right, then. Your lead.
You have friend rope?
I arcane command the rope back to my side.
Taking the reminder, you reach backwards across the distance, and the rope uncoils itself from the zip line, snaking through the air back towards you, and wraps around your arm as you hook it back up on your waist.
Thanks kindly for the reminder.
She will never forget friend rope.
I
Pretty
give
sure the rope is her favorite party member at this point.
I give the rope a pat and go, hey, it saved our hides more than once. It deserves the love.
Okay, what do you do?
I had to get down the rickety elevator.
I
Alright.
am helping.
Sure. Pio says, yeah, I definitely know how this thing works. And she makes her way over and she says, all right. She leaps from the ramp over to the bull with a soft, and she makes her way over to the winch system. She says, okay, just give me a minute. And she begins to push on it. She tests the rope, checks the mechanism, and before long begins to crank as the elevator begins to slowly rise up the rope. And after a few moments, it becomes flush with the platform. Okay, who is helping Pio with the winch?
I am.
Okay, as Glitter, you take the long haft and both of you look to the other group. Maybe not all at once?
I'll go over and help hold with the winch while the other 3 get on.
Okay, there's only enough room for 2 of you to be on the winch,
Okay,
so
2.
who would you relieve?
Probably
Either
Glitter
one.
Bomb, because Glitter Bomb is not very muscular. I'm not very muscular.
You politely nod to Glitter Bomb and Glitter as you rejoin the rest of the party over on the ramp. Devin looks to you all and he says, well, I don't want to be presumptuous, but how are we doing this?
First.
Sorry, who was that? Clyde?
You go first, Evan.
All right. He just slowly lifts a soft-booted foot over and taps on the platform. The elevator just kind of leans a little bit, but he slowly leans himself over. You see the platform just drop about an inch before he reaches over and grabs the rope. All right. All right. Good and steady now. Good and steady. He looks back at you. Pio says, Boss.
Nice and slow now.
Pio nods to you, Drogon, as the 2 of you just begin to lower the platform, and before long it softly, gently touches off the ground. Devin steps off and looks around, looks up and gives you the thumbs up. Please hurry. As he looks off into the woods beyond.
How far down is it?
It's about 35, 40 feet as best you can tell.
And the platform is... I might break it. Never mind. Never mind.
As it begins to come back up as Drogon and Pio begin to coil the winch back up before it's flush with the platform again.
I'm
Flush with the
going
ramp,
to grab Cloud by the arm, like, both of us.
Oh, okay. Can
All
you
right.
guys do that?
Pio looks at you, Drogon. I'm kind of fired up right now. I think we can do it. Okay.
Let's go.
Okay.
All right.
Hey.
As you step on and with the platform leans, even with the light weight of both Glitter Bomb and Cloud. And Drogon, why don't you make me an athletics check with advantage as you and Pio now press your bodies against the winch to hold it from spinning out of control. You do so and slowly can, with a couple of jerks, but a steady drop, the elevator lands softly. Drogon breathes a sigh of relief to see someone friendly back in proximity as Cloud and Glitter Bomb step off the platform. All right. It begins to rise again.
All right, down
Flush
you go,
with the ramp.
Muse.
I hop on the platform.
Okay. Muse hops on. Pio and Drogon working the winch. Before long,
Muse is back to the ground in safety, rejoined with the others. The elevator's back up at the ramp. Pio looks at you. She says, all right.
How are they going to get down once we're done with the elevator?
Friend rope.
We'll climb down the rope.
All right,
Go on.
Is that the call then?
Go on, I've got you.
All right, she taps you on the back, says, all right, thanks, Drogon. She makes her way back over to the ramp, jumps on. The elevator barely moves with her light weight as she looks to you, and Drogon begins to lower the elevator until Pio, too, now is safely at the bottom. All right, just you.
How far down is it?
It's about 35, 40 feet. 40 feet, we'll say. Give me that extra D6.
All right.
Send up friend rope.
All right. As you give the command, the knotted rope begins to coil up towards the top where the winch is, hanging the full 50 feet down to the ground, Drogon, giving you ample room.
All right. I start the climb down.
Okay. Give me your athletics with advantage. Or sorry, are you nodding it? I'm assuming you're nodding it, right?
Yeah,
So. Okay. All right. And before long, with ease, with the help of friend rope, the animated arcane hempen rope knotted now for ease of use, Drogon softly lands on the ground, and the companions are whole once again. Pio looks around and says, I don't know about you guys, but I'm about full up on excitement. She looks around and folds her arms.
Put some distance between us and this cursed tree.
Best plan I've heard in a long time.
I agree.
I will nod my agreement.
Everyone seems to be aligned as you make your way back towards the road leading through the southern Cormanthor and back towards Dampshire to the best of your memory. As you continue on, about an hour goes by uneventful now. The adventures that you left behind, seemingly weeks, even though mere days have passed since you took your leave from Dampshire. Is there anything you want to do while you're on the road here, making your way through in this brilliant, clear, sunny afternoon day? And the emerald green limbs and the trees of the Cormanthor are afire.
I'm
It's with
probably
sunlight.
mostly going
I should
to...
preface that. It's sunlight. It's not actual fire.
It's on fire?
It's not actually fire. Sorry, Glitter.
Yeah, I'm
Where's
probably
Tone
just
coming?
mostly going to be practicing conversation in common.
Pio's actually thankful for the distraction. She's using it as an opportunity to practice hers as well as you banter back and forth.
And at some point, I'm practicing numbers.
Gotcha.
So she knows more than 4 and 11.
The tutelage continues on this lonely road back towards Dampshire as you navigate the Cormanthor deeper and further south. Cloud, now the environment becoming a little bit more familiar towards you. What is your marching order, gang, as you're heading back down through the now widening road, this area a little bit more traveled?
I'm the slowest, so I'm probably in the back.
Okay, Drogon's in the back.
I'm probably towards the middle with Pio.
Okay. Glitterbomb, Pio, and Devin in the center.
I'll be next.
Okay. Cloud in the
Or I
second.
can go first if everybody wants me to pretend to lead.
Cloud probably has the most.
She says
familiarity.
confidently. Yeah.
Muse follows behind Cloud. I'm gonna let my little mechanical ferret buddy run around, and probably Muse is I'm gonna hum something just to blow off some steam.
Okay, as the little clockwork trinket begins to whir and kind of dance around in tune, and the cadence with the marching party as you make your way down. Cloud a good 10-15 feet ahead. Cloud, give me a perception check, please. Or nature, actually. Or
Say
sorry,
that-
survival or perception, your choice.
Survival or perception. Okay.
Sure.
And then
Okay. You don't have much trouble finding the footpath back, obviously having made your way this way, and this area of the Cormanthor becoming a lot more familiar to you. Glitterbomb, you also start to see signs of familiarity, having traveled these areas in your previous smaller adventures with Cloud in your time and your friendship together, which was actually born recently, but nothing like the adventures that you've experienced together over the course of the last 10 days. Pio begins to kind of chatter and say, this is, I don't think I've ever really been this far south before. She's kind of looking around. She seems to be a little bit nervous, but she's taking some comfort in the companionship between both Glitterbomb and Cloud, and keeping an eye on Muse, who she's started to recognize as somewhat of a leadership figure to her. Drogon, what are you doing as you march along the road?
Bushes on the side.
Sorry, what's that, Cloud?
I'm dancing in and out of, as I start to recognize it as home, then I start to be more relaxed and disappearing off into the bushes like I do.
Perfect. So every now and then, Cloud will dart off into like a poof of leaves as she darts into the bushes and rummages around, and then will appear down the road 10 feet later in a completely different place as she begins to weave through the familiar territory of her homestead. Drogon.
I keep glancing behind us, a little paranoid, hoping not to see a cloaked rider coming up on us.
Keeping an eye out on the rear guard. Go ahead and give me a perception check as you keep an eye to the road that you've now traveled.
All right.
Nice.
So as you peer back, you can even make out the bend in the road. You're so focused on making sure that you're not taken by surprise. And you do tune in to the rustling of some woodland beasts, a small herd of deer that you can hear and see off in the distance, and every now and then you're
4 miles away.
Yeah, it's like you're now tracking wildlife like National Geographic style. You see their outlines through the trees. As every now and then you catch the sound of Cloud darting, and you can even start to begin to make the difference in the timbre and the weight of her movements versus some of the larger beasts that you can hear in a growl from far away. But you feel satisfied that the party is safe, at least for now. Another hour goes by as the sun continues its lazy arc over the Cormanthor, starting to heat up the ground and the area around you now. The birds sing-songy, chirping all throughout the Cormanthor. It's now alive and brilliant with life, a stark contrast to what you experienced in the desolate valley where the goblins made their home beyond. And with that, you can actually almost start to make out the clear blue sky of the swaths of plains that make Hillsfar. Even through the clutch of trees towards the south and east, you think if you look hard enough, you can see the rising, vaulting, mighty walls of Hillsfar in the horizon beyond. And you start to smell smoke on the distance, chimney smoke. You feel like you're reaching the border of the southern Cormanthor. Muse, what are you doing?
I'm feeling a little bit more relaxed, so I'm still infusing my little mechanical ferret and keeping up the song to just kind of lighten everyone's spirits a little bit.
Okay, you become lost in the joints and the inner workings and the mechanics of this incredible handicraft, all biased aside, but your work is quite magnificent. Drogon, you can even notice, and you're still sort of intrigued by this this artistry, while very different from your own, at least carries that kind of respect when you know someone is terribly good at their craft, just as you are with the forge. Muse seems to have this command over the smaller, more manual nuances of crafting these fine work tools, and the arcane energy that it's infused with as the ferret snakes up over his shoulder, and these joints kind of intermingle and intertwine. It moves with a like-life motion, though the gleaming plates of its hide and its craft shining in the daylight belies the true nature of the item itself. And with that,
the morning light, the daylight, the afternoon light now spilling through the border of the Cormanthrower as you see the road to Dampshire and where all this began not so long ago. You take a deep breath of fresh forest air as the town of Dampshire lies merely a half hour's walk to the west. And with that, as the gates of Dampshire come into view, Pio stops at the border of the forest, almost frozen, paralyzed.
I am going to stop with her.
I look to the pair. Y'all are fine.
Hey, look, you've all been real nice to me, but that's not been my experience with most, if you know what I'm saying. She just kind of unconsciously holds the scabbard of her scimitar at the side of her hip. There's a lot of humankind around here. I can smell it, and they can probably smell me too.
Well, none of us have seen a bath in a while, and stick near me, Pio, and you'll be fine. I promise.
You are
We won't
flock.
let, we won't let
Flock.
anybody. Nobody will hurt you. Even if they try, nobody will hurt you.
Devin
Blood
looks around
scars
to all of
protect
you
our own.
and nods. Pio says, yeah. No, I know, but I don't want to get you guys in trouble either. Devin looks and nods and turns, and he kind of kneels down to her and says, little one, if it wasn't for you and your friends here, I would still be in those bars. I would still be at the hands of goblins who I know to be not like you. Like this one said, and he gestures towards Glitterbomb. You're one of us, and this is my home. No one will give you any grief while you are a guest of mine, here in Dampshire. He looks over to Muse and nods. If you're satisfied, then she'll be safe in the arms of our town. I guarantee you, little one, you need not fear here. All right, Muse, roll a persuasion check with advantage for me, please. She seems to become a little bit verklempt, and she just shrinks back a little bit. It seems like she's fighting instinct at this point. Okay.
I walk over to her and put my hand out.
She looks at it.
Give me your hand. We'll go together.
I'm going to chirp in agreement and kind of reach out to hold Pio's other hand.
All right. She takes one more look around the group and slowly puts her hand in yours, Cloud. Okay. Yeah, okay. As you lead her out of the forest towards the road, back on track towards Dampshire.
And both be uncomfortable together.
That's right. We'll find comfort in our discomfort. As you make your way back towards Dampshire, you notice that Devin goes quite solemn, almost trying to make his own peace with the town that he knows and loves. And you pass the cottage where, in his memory, was the place where he was ripped from the night before he was to be wed to his betrothed, and Gildis, the captain of the Dampshire militia. As you continue to pass through, before long, you breach through the gates of Dampshire itself. The village itself is empty, yet the embellished chairs still stand in the center. A lone figure who you recognize as Gildis Strong, holding his head in his hands, still guarded in the accoutrement of the city militia, his proud blue tabard and plate mails. As he leans forward, still wearing the elegant blue suit that you met him in underneath those plates, sits in one of the chairs, seems to be just staring forlornly at the ground itself, as though he hasn't even moved in as many days. As he hears you approaching, he looks up. You see bloodshot, puffy eyes, look like the victim of far too much wear, sleepless nights, and a lot of emotions.
As he looks at you, he squints through the morning light or the afternoon light to try and make out the group of those friends walking towards him before he sees Devin. And as his eyes fall on his groom-to-be, a large smile splits his face. He stands, begins to walk towards Devin. Breaking into a run, he makes his way. Devin also mirroring in kind as he begins to run towards his betrothed before they clash together in a grasp. The outstretched arms wrap around one another. The two embrace for nearly a minute as you watch, kind of stand your distance, giving them the space. Gildas looks towards you. Thank you. Welling with tears now, he looks. Thank you. He turns back to Devin. As the two make their way back towards the dais where the wedding was set to begin nearly 10 days ago. And Devin just begins to softly sing. As his song trails off. Pio looks at you. Well, I guess it's quiet enough around here. Now what?
I smile at Pio, and we do what blood scarves do after any successful job. We get a drink.
Hear to that. Lead on, boss.
I look to the others. Y'all coming?
I will chirp in agreement.
That sounds like a good idea.
Are we going back out to the woods to
No.
Pio reaches for your hand,
go
Cloud,
to
and she
the
says,
stream?
"This time you take my lead." And she pulls you with the rest of the group towards the bar.
I just keep looking back at the woods like, okay.
With that, as you make your way back towards the Bat and Chain, and now finally something familiar, the sounds of laughter and merriment emanating from the tavern within, the soft lyrics of Devin's chant reaches you as he sings a song of love for you, of joy and peace for you. My heart is yours until the end. And that's where we'll end our session
Aw.
Aww.
for tonight. Devin safely back in the arms of Damshire, the home that he knows and his love in Gildas. Perhaps now the two can finally
did
find
it.
peace in their union. As you bring that victory home to Damshire, we will begin again next time in the common room of the Bat and Chain and what adventure lies ahead. That's our show for tonight.
Yay!
Hey, thank you very much, everyone, for joining us tonight. We'll take a minute or two and go around the table. I would love to hear what our players and characters are thinking. So take a quick minute. I will also put up for you some information that will help identify who these characters are. If you enjoyed the show tonight, please show some love. Throw us a follow. If you have any questions for the cast, by all means, now is the time. Drop them in chat. And before we get into it, I'll give these gang a bit of a breather. Let's go jump into our notifications. Thank you very much for joining us. I know during the show, we take the time to stay locked in on the narrative, but at the end, that's where we get to come back to you. So let us know what you're thinking in chat. And let me give out some props too. Like I said, Dr. Feargood, thank you very much for the 4-month resub. Joining, supporting the channel, very much appreciated. We have Lucas Savedio, who followed at the beginning of the show. Thank you kindly. Rolls with Advantage with the big host, helping us get the word out. Thank you so much, Rolls with Advantage. Welcome back to the show. Always good to see you back in stream. Your Walker X for the follow, and Frost75809. Thank you very much for the follow. Welcome to the Checkmates gang. You're part of an amazing group of tabletop gaming and video gaming enthusiasts, and of course, the best damn community on the interwebs, made even better
by your presence. We're humbled to have you. Thanks for joining the Checkmates. Muse, how you feeling about tonight? What stood out?
I gotta say the finale of P.O., Glitter Bomb, and Cloud returning to town together, the heartfelt reunion, and of course that one really badass crit.
That really badass crit indeed. Laying down the hurt. Did you guys think that you would be battling your way back through Bridgetree?
Yes.
Yeah. It was
I was hoping for just a nice walk home after.
a nice easy stroll back through the Cormanthor in true D&D nature. Cloud, what are you thinking, Cloud? Staring up. Cloud?
I think we lost
Did I
her.
break Nikki? Can you hear me?
I'm back.
Oh, hey. You okay?
Or did that thing again?
Just a little
where
check-in.
My app went out, so I had to open it on. I had to open up my browser.
I was gonna say, I was
know
like,
what
is she not
happened.
talking to me now? What did I do?
I am so mad at you right now.
I didn't even try to kill her this
understand.
time.
No, sorry. I did that as fast as I could, but it took a while for the browser to open.
No worries. What's Cloud thinking?
Oh wow, Cloud is so confused right now, but at the same time, elated. Elated that we've made it, that we have Devin back. She doesn't understand the display of love that just happened in front of her. She has no idea what any of that means, why they would act that way. It's interesting how she feels about Pio, because she sees Pio as a fellow prisoner who's just been released, so she doesn't feel even remotely threatened by her, but it's still uncomfortable to have physical contact with somebody. But she also isn't not the same kind of, it's not fear, it's just discomfort at
So
I guess we can touch.
Yeah, that's right. Because I mean, it's a little bit new now. Cloud is familiar with Gildas and Devin, and had been a little bit before the story, as far as the backstory goes, right? So she has seen it, but she's never seen this kind of display. Is that what you're saying?
Probably just like, hi, hey, I don't know how, I don't think I spent that much time in the town, just kind of around the edges, picking up any food they left for me, or saying
that's
hi
right.
if they dropped out around my edge.
And this is certainly the first time you've actually been in the town and this close to the population.
And that's why she's going, the woods are back that way. There's lots to drink.
Yeah.
There's lots to drink out there.
Cloud's trying to scramble back to her comforts. Let's go to Glitter Bomb. How's Glitter Bomb feeling? What do you think is going through her mind through some of these highlights this afternoon? Or this evening, rather.
Well, she's thrilled that she's basically built herself, her own flock, her little family, and she's glad that Cloud is starting to get comfortable around other people, and basically happy to have another companion who's a little odd like the rest of them.
That's right. There's true companionship in that. You
Yeah.
guys have all formed this really beautiful little kind of oddball group of like, I don't know, it's cool. We always say after every session, like the way that the bonding is sort of formulating is really special to see, and that's cool for me too. Yeah, and I like your reference to the flock as well. So welcoming
Well, that's
Pio
definitely
into the
got to be
flock.
part of the name. It has to be part of the name.
Yeah, how about
when we
that?
come up with the group name, it's got to be a flock of something.
That's right. You guys got to start thinking about that, because we need like a group tag,
Group
right?
name. Yeah.
That's right. We need a group name. Yep, that's right. Let's go to Drogon. What's Drogon thinking through all this? What's going through his mind? He's had a bit of a different path here.
Yeah, no, this was a good ending, especially for him. This is the the Lord of the Rings ending.
Mhm.
The hobbits come back to the Shire, and they get to go in and have a drink together and reminisce about what happened to them, and they know what they had to go through, and nobody else does. And
Right.
this is the right ending. Yeah, it was good.
That's a good pull, actually. I never thought about it that way, and the merriment that ensues. So I think it'll be great for us to kick off next session with you guys in the tavern and planning the next leg of your adventure wherever it takes you. And who knows what other things are at play, what other things are going to fall into your lap. This is the end of a first arc. If you're just joining us, all the VODs are available on the Twitch channel. I highly, highly recommend that you check them out. Of course, I'm biased, but I mean, this has been quite a special ride already, and we're only 8 sessions in, many more to come, I hope. As long as
I
none
hope
of the
so.
DM's minions, deal too much damage, or as long as the DM doesn't overtune any encounters. Not that that's something I would do or have ever done. But yeah, I look forward to seeing where this goes. So when we come back...
Comment.
What's that?
Comment.
When we come back, we'll be kicking that up, and we'll be picking up that part of the adventure too as we finish this one off. We will have a little bit of downtime as we come back to Dampshire. So, how do you guys feel about sharing your thoughts on downtime before we, which we'll go into next session? Usually, how I do downtime is we'll collectively talk about what you'd want to accomplish in X amount of downtime. I'll let you know how much you have. And then we'll pick and choose particular highlights from those moments to roleplay if needed. And we'll kind of talk through the outcomes of the others, which will give us a good solid week and a half of you guys kind of just being back to town, able to do some of the things that maybe you didn't get to do. We'll progress we'll flesh out some of the other side stories that come into play here. This is, as DMsGuild Future Showcase, we are running a third-party campaign or a third-party module, but I do a lot of heavy writing around it, so it's very highly customized, and we'll bring a lot of these great backstory elements into it. So to that question, how do you guys feel about talking about downtime? Does anybody not want to share downtime yet?
No, I don't have a problem with it.
I don't
Okay.
have a problem with it either.
Okay. Before we go into that, really quick to answer that, Dr. Feargood, they did level up actually after last session. We went to level 4, right? So we're going to talk a little bit about that, and then we'll go into our approach to downtime in this in-between phase. Glitterbomb, since you kicked it off, tell us a little bit about level 4 for Glitter, what choices you made and why.
What I did with her, one of her things was that she's good with. She's good with mimicry, and for level 4, I thought, she's been doing vocal mimicry and like illusionary mimicry, so she decided that she wanted to try kind of a magical physical mimicry, which is why I took Altered Self. She's proficient with the sky skip, but she knew that she could do something a little further than that, so she gotta be able to mimic looks, so Alter Self.
Very nice.
Also, since she basically started weaponizing Mage Hand, I decided that she needed to actually take a weaponized form of Mage Hand, and I took Chill Touch, which
Awesome.
basically, skeleton hand to actually grab and do some damage.
Yeah. And that all worked out pretty well tonight, I would say. Alter Self right into Chill Touch. That's very cool to see her arsenal of arcane tricks expanding. That was very cool. Drogon, what was good for level 4 for Drogon, and why did you make the choices that you made?
Level 4 just meant more spells, and coming back into being a spellcaster after a while not being one, having that finite resource dry up so fast when you're first and second level is really frustrating. So I'm excited to have more spell slots. I chose to raise up Drogon's wisdom rather than taking a feat or something like that. I just think Drogon is all about trying to gain more knowledge, and he's gotten a lot in this little adventure just from Muse and from seeing all sorts of new things in the world too. So he's gotten a little wise. He's come back a little wiser from this.
That makes sense. And up until level 5, just context for our community here. Normally after level 5, I say the training wheels are off. So once you accept level 5, up until level 5, I allow any player to do a few things. You can either rework, rejig, or reallocate anything about your character, even up to and including a complete do-over. I don't really see that for this group, but it is there. And the reason I do that is because I don't like people to be totally locked into choices they've made. You don't really know where the good choices lie. You may have made a choice that you wouldn't have made otherwise if you'd known a little bit more. So I don't like people to be locked into that. But once you take level 5, you're locked in. Additionally, I'll allow characters to use the benefit of their new levels without any kind of long rest or anything up until level 5, unless you're multi-classing. Once you hit level 5, you will need a long rest before you can get the benefits of your next level. So for level 5, just so you guys know, when you hit level 5, you'll need a long rest before you actually reap the rewards of actual level 5. So, so what we saw tonight was leveling that kind of happened on the road, but they were able to use those new abilities. So I just wanted to call that out too. So that's good. And Drogon actually had a pretty sweet kill yourself when you kind of what looked like a whiff on a was it guiding holy was it
on the sacred flame?
Yeah, sacred flame on the rope. And then I had a couple of rolls for the strength of that rope as somebody had put weight on it, and that goblin died from the fall.
Turned out good.
Yeah, so that was a kill there with a 1 damage sacred flame.
Yep.
So nicely done. And that's a cantrip, right? So all those fancy new spell slots, you just never know.
An ounce of preparation is worth 2 in the book. How's that go?
There's I think you're
I'm
pretty
not sure
close.
that's the saying, but sure.
Yeah, I don't quite remember it verbatim, but I feel like you were close-ish. Somebody Google it.
I kind of like yours better though.
Yeah, it works.
An ounce of
That's that
preparation is worth 2
18
in the
wisdom.
bush.
That 18 wisdom you took. Showing up right there. Cloud, what choices did you make for Cloud and why?
I raised her wisdom by 2 because I
Interesting.
felt like she was missing a lot of perception checks. So if you're stealthing along and doing a great job at that, but you don't hear what's going on around you, then I'm not sure you're doing the right thing. And also just automatically I got monk ability slow fall, which
Right,
reduces any falling damage by 5 times my level.
Mm-hmm.
So that's pretty good. That's why I jumped out of that tree, just because I could.
Very nice. And just to show it off. And Cloud is Kensei tradition, right?
Yeah, so that's pretty new. I thought I'm gonna try it because of her backstory. None of the other traditions really made any sense to me because she wasn't being trained in a monastery. It wasn't the traditional way of doing things. So the Kensei one seemed to make the most sense.
Right. Very nice. That's cool. And that's from Xanathar's, if I'm not mistaken, is it? Yeah. Cool. Yeah, I like that. And monks gain benefit from wisdom as well, so that makes sense. Not only in your I guess key, the spell-like effects from your key, but also your unarmored defense benefits from that. Does it not?
Get either wisdom or dexterity. If I raise those, then things just get better.
Nice. Very good. That's cool to see. And you're more perceptive, like you said. So there's a plus there as well. Awesome. Muse, what were the choices for Muse, and why did you select them?
Well, just some generic additional spells, of course, kind of keeping up with his bandit outlook, and sharpshooter for, well, role-playing purposes, because most of his, the last word is kind of his namesake weapon, and I wanted to make sure he could keep putting power into it. Also, well, needless to say, it was kind of useless tonight, but...
Well, the roll's got to be with you either way, but it's a cool feat. Tell us about Sharpshooter.
Sharpshooter kind of falls into the fact is that Muse kind of modeled after the Man with No Name, kind of the Wild West heroes. Attacking along range no longer imposes disadvantage on ranged attack rolls. Ranged weapons now ignore half cover and 3/4 cover, so basically Muse is going to start bouncing bullets off of things to hit stuff. And
Nice.
and my favorite and cursed, before I make a ranged attack with a ranged weapon, which I'm proficient, which covers the shotgun and the revolver, I can choose to take a -5 penalty to the roll, and if I hit, I get +10 damage.
That's very cool, especially in cases where you might have advantage, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to start thinking about imposing advantage on stuff before I take shots, because I whip hard on those.
Would have been worth it though with an extra +10 to your damage. That damage is insane, by the way. The last word does 2d8 damage and a d6 elemental
Yep.
damage as well. So it's pretty.
As long as I'm burning a spell slot for per fight, yes.
Right, that's pretty baller. And normally that weapon would also have the reload property, but what is it about Muse that allows you to negate that?
Infusion.
Your infusion. So you've got an infusion for that and infusion for the rope, and those are the two that you typically run, right?
Yep. Repeating shot for the last word basically means I eliminate the reload. I also get a complimentary +1 damage and attack.
Right.
And the, of course, friend rope, which I'm pretty sure at this point Muse is never going to remove.
So yeah, I don't think so. Friend rope is almost like its own sentient NPC now. You've heard us reference friend rope throughout the adventure. Please do go back and watch the series. It's amazing. I can't say it enough, but you'll get a sense for how this rope really kind of plays in. And what you can expect from the show is, as you can see, we're deeply tied into the narrative. So when we're in session, we are playing the narrative through and through. There's a lot less interruptions. It's pretty quick paced. It is a very fluid, joined story, and I think you'll enjoy it. Most importantly, you'll know about all the inside jokes we're making around friend rope too, and see where that sort of came from. It is, or I feel like soon I'm gonna need like a character sheet for friend rope, and that's true. The best part is we've basically prevented Dustin from taking any new infusions that would replace that for Muse. It's that you're definitely pot committed there, I think.
Every day.
Yeah. I'm
Yep.
gonna get DMs if you if you try to remove friend
up the
rope.
rope.
So that's right.
By the way, that was my rope.
Oh yeah. Up next, we have a tooth and nail battle for ownership of the rope. Who was it? The rope or the infusion that made friend rope? Right? It's a very we're gonna get into a chicken and egg scenario, I think. But that's all
Don't get a
good.
bird involved in that one.
Yeah, this is gonna be a custody battle.
That's right. Yeah, it's gonna get savage. We I love it though. I really do feel like I envision friend rope now, and I envision him as like it's like the flying carpet from Aladdin to me. I picture that kind of personality around it too. So that's always a good time. On that note, I totally forgot what I was gonna say. So let's jump back into the Nerdy Chicken with the Prime sub. Thank you very much for the sub. Like we support our own. Thank you so much for the support, and
You're
always
more
of
than
course,
just
for your
this
support
stream,
being
though.
here.
Come on.
Yeah, well, I do a few things, and I look forward to them all equally. I love all my show children equally, but this one definitely has a special place for me too. So, and I get tied up in this story too. I'll be the first to admit, like, I had to take a minute. I'm like, okay, no, I'm just delivering the story here. I'm not in it. And sometimes I have to try to pull myself out so I can get through some of these moments too, because the moments that you all create are so incredible that, I have to I want to be in them and enjoy them as a viewer, but I also have to pull out because I'll get too tied in, and then I won't be able to run the actual game because I'll be on the bench in a mess. But that's it. We had a lot of great viewers with us tonight too, so thank you so much for your time. Thank you for giving us your time and attention tonight. If you haven't done so already, we'd love for you to throw us a follow, show us the support for the show. It doesn't cost you a thing, but it means the world to us, and let us know that what we do matters. So please do come back for another session in 2 weeks' time. Before we sign off, I do want to talk a little bit about downtime. So what are you comfortable sharing? Let's start with Drogon this time. Ryan, for Drogon, what are some of the things that you're thinking about that Drogon would do with his downtime now that he's returned to Dampshire?
Yeah, I think he's looking hard at you know, moving on now. Maybe he's done with Dampshire, and if his new companions are interested in hitting the road and whatnot, I know that that Muse is out looking for, and I forgot her name, but
Lorelei.
yeah, Lorelei and whatnot. But he's interested in learning more about uh, artificing in general, and then so that's something that's intriguing to him. So maybe he might be tying up loose ends and packing up his blacksmith shop. Depends on, I don't know what pops up next, but I think that might be a possibility.
Nice. Can you share a little bit about what Drogon was doing in Dampshire to begin with? On that note about the smithy and what was keeping him occupied here.
Yeah, Drogon came into town. I don't know, maybe a year ago. Let's make it up. Let's say whatever.
Sounds good. Some time ago is my go-to in those moments. I'm like, some time ago, because it could be 2 years, it could be 2 weeks,
and got to know some of the people in town and just started. I figure he knew most people that would come in, and especially Gildas, for example. Is good friends with anybody on the watch or that needed help with their armor or weapons or anything like that.
Yep.
And it's more of a, being helpful and being useful is kind of what he likes. In the past, he kind of just has moved on when he's overstayed his welcome. He feels like every now and then he gets into steps into things politically or just personality wise. If there are people there he doesn't like, he hasn't been one that sticks around to or just even his fight or flight has been more flight. Let's say that.
I see.
In the past, and so he's been. I feel like he's probably been here at Dampshire for a while, and it's felt good. But every couple of years, he feels like he needs to move on. So it might be that time for him here.
Gotcha. Very good. Cloud, what are you thinking about for Cloud's downtime in these next, let's say, week to 2 weeks? And what can you tell us a little bit about Cloud's background before she arrived in Dampshire that you're comfortable sharing? Let's say in the week leading up to, let's say.
Well, yeah, there's not too much to talk about with that. It was a couple years of hanging out and an escape, let's say, from Hillsfire. Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the city-state.
And a couple years of just surviving on her own. Well, for the first little while, surviving on her own, and then meeting up with Glitterbomb and sort of those two hanging out together every once in a while and helping Glitterbomb learn how to talk a little more and learning how to survive and getting coaxed out of the woods every once in a while by Gildas and the guards and them leaving me food that was actually really good as opposed to, bugs or whatever I happen to be able to find that day.
That's right. Glitterbomb's particular flair of cuisine, we'll say.
If she was in charge of getting food for the day, wasn't really Cloud's favorite day when that was happening because better.
That's right.
Yeah, so I think for her this downtime is going to be sort of getting used to the idea of living part of her life in a town or a civilized place, because to her civilized before meant brutality. There was nothing civil about civilization to her before.
Right.
So trying to change the way she pictures it and thinks of it is going to be a little bit of a challenge. Hopefully nobody does anything stupid to make her, like, great, we're in the bar, people start fighting. She's like, okay, I'm out of here. I'm not doing this. Hopefully nothing like that happens. But also, I think she has some training with a longbow. So I think she might see. She doesn't know anything about this kind of stuff. So it's going to be a challenge for her to figure out, where do you go to get a longbow? And what are they going to want in return for one? Because I don't know how that works.
Interesting.
She keeps on getting gold and silver and copper, and she's like,
That's right. I love it. She gave it away. What was it? The actors that you met on the road, right? The guy who took off. He was like, I only have one gold, and she gave him her gold because she just thought he needed more.
He grabbed it and ran away.
And then he ran away. Yeah, so it makes sense. Why wouldn't you think humans are basically dicks? Because that's been your experience with them thus far. Yeah,
she was like, well, sure, I guess he needed it more than I did.
Yeah, that's right.
What he's doing.
Another great moment on the road. And what do you think? Yeah, so looking around, maybe trying to experience that. Use some interest in fleshing out, how to get a longbow or get a piece of that. See how that works. I think that'll be interesting to play out how Cloud interacts with civilized society and what that actually means or can mean, despite what she's maybe learned.
I'm thinking it's going to involve her friends going, no, you don't give them that much gold. Stop it. Stop.
Yeah, a lot of
let somebody else do it for
maybe,
you.
Yeah. A lot of Cloud might need a lot of moderating as she explores.
I think Drogon has all the gold right now. Actually,
good idea.
Yeah,
that's a good
make
idea.
Cloud treasurer. That's who you want in charge of the party spend.
No, she's actually giving anything she gets. She just gives to you guys because she doesn't know worth of it is or what it's really, how it all works. She knows that there's a system of barter and trade and money. She just doesn't understand how it all works.
Right. It'll be fun to watch her descend into the tenets of greed as they start to take hold.
Question I have to ask myself: is she going to like drinking?
Yeah, that'll be interesting. Lots to look forward to next session. On that note, you mentioned the intersection of her path with Glitterbomb previously before we launched into the module. So this is these are backstory components that we're just talking through. And Glitterbomb, tell us a little bit about that. Let's say the weeks leading up to again, and after that, what do you see on the horizon for Glitterbomb during this downtime that's coming?
Well, we should probably start with what I see as Glitterbomb's side of their meeting. She had basically been kind of going from town to town. Basically, she knows she doesn't quite fit in. Mm-hmm. So she's just been kind of scurrying from town to town, kind of living in abandoned houses, taking odd jobs so she could, get supplies that she needs. She's not that great with money because she didn't really have anyone to teach her. But she knows that it's useful. So she's mostly been trying to stay out of sight, and then she ran into Cloud and decided to kind of try out her lifestyle. And she's not that great at figuring out things to eat. She really started feeding herself bugs and berries on her own because she does not know how to cook. So at this point, she's pretty happy to find misfits that don't mind her looking different, and don't mind that she's really not what other people would expect to see in a Kenku. So yeah, she's really thrilled to find people who fit in just as badly as she does. So now that they're near a new town and Cloud clearly has friends there, she's probably going to start getting a little more bold and actually venturing into the town a little more. Probably trying to take some odd jobs and exploring and listening to other people's conversations. And she's probably also going to be checking out the smithy and just kind of be a creeper and kind of watch Drogon at work sometimes, and just occasionally sit outside and just listen to the sound of the hammer on the anvil.
That's awesome. I feel like Glitterbomb eventually is just going to capture like everyone's secrets, but not really be able to articulate any of them. She'll just be like the vessel of all the dark knowledge.
Yeah, I mean, she's got her reasons for the way she acts, but she has no way to actually describe them until she gets better with the common language. So that's part of her reason for going to be just wandering the town and listening to other people's conversations.
Awesome. I love that. And rounding it out, Muse, why don't you bring us home, Dustin, with let's say the weeks leading up to. Now, I think we've probably seen, or we've caught a glimpse into most Muse's story more than anyone's, because of how he's leveraged that history to kind of navigate some of these really tricky opportunities and moments. But anything else you want to share about, let's say, the moments leading up to Dampshire and the time that you've been in there, and then, of course, what you see from Muse in the downtime?
Of course. For Muse, the point leading up to his time in Dampshire, he basically he took on any job he could to continue hunting, like trying to figure out what happened to Lorelei. And of course, unlike everybody else, he would take on any job that he could as long as it wasn't hurting good people. So bounty hunting, hired guard, things like that weren't a big deal to him. And eventually he ended up in Dampshire. And of course, as he woke up the day of the incident, he finding out that Devon was kidnapped, and of course, part of him knew that Lorelei would, kick his butt if he stood by and didn't do anything with this.
That's right. Just fate, I think, that saw Muse in town at the time when this had happened. And yeah, very good. So what about downtime for Muse?
For Muse's downtime, one, he's going to get a drink. Then he's going to get a second drink.
That's fair.
But more importantly for Muse, I think he wants to make sure, he knows Drogon can navigate the town no problem, but Glitterbomb, Cloud, and Pio are all more or less on the opposite side of his lifestyle, so he wants to make sure nothing happens to them while they're there, help them out with whatever they need to find while they're in town. Possibly he's going to make a couple more of his clockwork contraptions and leave behind for various people, so they kind of have something fun, and especially as a parting gift for, of course, Devon and now I'm drawing a blank on the name of the guard. Go me.
Gildas.
Gildas.
Gildas. Oh, the captain. Yeah, the captain of the Terror. Yeah, Gildas. Yeah.
Leave them a clockwork contraption as kind of a congratulations on your day and thank you for not arresting me.
Awesome. Well, we'll look forward to that in 2 weeks' time when we come back to DM's Guild Future Showcase and Scourge of the Nightingale right here on Shambazzle Games, and you can watch these folks now test the limits of my improv skills as they navigate town on their downtime. And of course, we'll explore where the story goes from here and how these backstories continue to intersect. But before we sign off for the evening, it's my pleasure to introduce you to these incredible folks. Let's start on the other side with Pleasant Doom.
I am Pleasant Doom on the Twitterverse. I'm one of the hosts of Dungeons, Signings, and Dorks, where we talk about geekery and food and other fun things. And we have a lot of fun. We also have our feed is getting hijacked every once in a while by PH Balance, which is my husband and my friend talking about life as Filipino Americans and their connection to the Philippines. So it's a fun time to hear them talk about that too.
Nice. I love that title too, PH Balance. It's awesome. Continuing around the circle to Dads and Dragons.
I'm Ryan. I'm the DM of Dads and Dragons, and I play with my kids and my brother, and we have a great time. And you can check out our podcast at dadsanddragons.com.
Awesome. DM Solidarity. Let's continue our round two at Chickenly Nerd.
That's me. I'm at Chickenly Nerd. and I for some reason my brain is melting or something. You should go look at my shop though, chicken.ca, and check out all the cool nerdy stuff we've got there. Lots of cool things in there now. New stuff coming. I really think everybody should have some of the nerd swag from there.
Yes, the shop is not melting. The shop is cool as ice, but the products are laser hot. Let's go to Just Drawn Radio.
Of course, I am Just Drawn Radio. I talk about comic books on the radio. Got a podcast at cjtr.ca. And much like Chickenly Nerd, my brain has officially given up on the day.
I use all the last of your mental energy. We leave it on the stage, folks. We leave it on the stage for you.
That took a lot. This one took a lot for some reason, especially that very end where I was like, that's really nice.
I know. I was barely hanging on there too, probably quite noticeably. And of course, my name is Brad, aka Shambazzle Games. I'm your DM for DMsGuild Future Showcase, and of course, the host of all the great shows that we have here, all bias aside, on Shambazzle Games on Twitch. So please do come back, throw me a follow if you haven't done so already, for lots more great D&D and video game content. Come back and check us out in 2 weeks' time, which gives you lots of time to catch up on the saga thus far. Check out the collection, the videos, the VODs are all available to you, so you can catch up on this incredible adventure and come back strong for us in 2 weeks when we return for our bi-weekly Wednesday night community D&D showcase right here on Shambazzle Games. So until then, checkmates, happy gaming, be good to one another, and we'll see you next time for another stream right here on Shambazzle Games.
Getting ready early.
Good night.
Bye, chill.
I'm gonna get the heart. Look, I can't do it. It's the most.
I get lots of
ridiculous
breathing
heart.
room. We're gonna make the perfect hand heart, and that's how we're gonna take it out tonight. Good night.
Okay, is that good?